We got a lot to talk about today.
What up? What up? Yeah. Yeah.
They made
What
an
is
announcement.
popping? And
Double G.
of course, bro. Of course, it always happens after we talk about it. We done talked
Yep.
about this on Tuesday. We're going to let y'all know what we're talking about today.
So, without further ado, let's get this show started. It's the Gridiron, baby. Let's roll. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. Welcome to the
Good
Gridiron.
morning, everybody.
I am
Yeah.
Jackson King. To my left is Double G. Gabe Garcia.
Yes, right. That's right. What is popping, everybody, on this
We got a live show.
beautiful Saturday?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Platinum's in the building. Deuces in the building. Hits in the building. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling today, man? We got a lot of football to talk about, man. Got some football to talk about. You already know this merger, man. They keep doing it to us. Every time we talk about it, it's like, okay, we'll wait till some news drop. The news drops. So it's like,
and yeah, like the next day and shit, man. Me and you done talked about this on Gridiron Nation. We talked about this on Tuesday night, and it was like Wednesday. I think it was what this. Oh, it was Wednesday. My bad. You're right. And it dropped on Thursday, man. Thursday morning. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah,
it's official.
It is official. Yeah,
the merge is coming. There's been press releases on USFL.com. There's been releases on XFL.com. Danny Garcia has has posted on Twitter and stuff about the merge, saying more work to be done. So we know that Danny's not going anywhere as far as the ownership team. The same with The Rock, more work to be done. They're posting on Twitter and things of that nature. So we're definitely going to see the merge happen. That's just a given now. It's just now, when is it going to take place? How is it going to take place? You know what I mean? And that's the big question now. So we're looking at, possibly a 16-team league, because I honestly think, let's be real. I honestly think they're going to take the approach like the NFL and the AFL did when it came to their merge. This merge might not be done for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Ignacio, what's going on, brother?
What is up, brother? What's up, brother?
In my opinion, join us. A lot of things are just going to happen behind closed doors, and it's going to take some time for the merge to actually happen. So I think the league is going to really think it's going to be like the AFL and the NFL. They're going to play out their seasons until they're ready to merge. You know what I mean?
And I like the idea you've been talking about, with us. And I know you were on the the X-Fan show the other day on Thursday as the news broke, and I saw you talking about it there too. And it just makes a lot of sense, because we're looking at 6-7 months until this league's going to begin. Until the spring football season begins. It's just I don't think it's enough time to properly start, get a first season together when we don't even know the details yet. And I guess that's the frustrating part when, for fans of this league like us, is that everything, we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing, and it's frustrating as hell, man. But I like what you talked about with the two leagues playing their seasons out, having a couple of interleague games, and by the end of the spring, having the two champions face off, winner becoming the inaugural, champion of the NSFL or whatever it is going to be, on to 2025. It's just, not only is it an idea that makes sense because it gives them an opportunity to promote the new league a year before across both leagues. You know,
Exactly.
you can promote the shit out of it during the broadcast of all these games, and it allows them an extra year to prepare where whatever teams are going to stay, where are we going to move them, who's going to play where, and
But
it
that's
keeps the football going. Yeah,
they wouldn't
and
have
it
to remove teams. All they have to do is just
yeah,
find them USFL teams fields to play at. That's it.
and that's the thing though. Like if you try to rush this, we're going to end up in playing in some hubs next year, and we
Mhm.
don't want that. You don't want
And
that. So
if they intend to start off with hubs, it's going to fail. No fans are
yeah,
going to be
it's our
interested.
yeah.
You know,
I was just talking to my brother Ignacio a while ago. That's what we were talking about. You know, we said if they rush this thing into 2024 and it's not a good format because it was rushed, then it's going to fail before it even gets off the ground. And this, me and you have talked about this. This has to succeed, bro, because spring football has come and gone, had so many startups again, and it's failed, whether for one reason or another. That if this is the last chance, I think, to really keep the fan support for spring football. And if this thing isn't done right and it fails, we ain't ever going to trust y'all again. So the next time we hear about a spring football league, all right, talk to me in 2 years if it's still around. You know what I mean? They're going to lose fans, man. So I like the idea that you've been putting out there. And I think it keeps the football going. You know, it gives people a little teaser of seeing some of these teams against each other. So I like that idea, but we're gonna see, man. Like you said, we that's all we got. You know, we're just getting the details as they're willing to put it out there to us, man. And kind of sucks
like
because it's frustrating.
right, and like Flame says, it's definitely going to take some time with the government shutting down for the approval to get through, which is very true. You know, that's going to slow the process as well. But just the overall merge needs to take some time. They need to
Yeah,
set it up to where, like I've been saying the last past shows I've been on this past week and stuff, they need to have these teams, have all 16 teams stay, have them play their seasons out. You know, the XFL plays their season, the NFL or the USFL plays their season. But in the middle of the season or during the season, there's one home game and one away game where it'll be interleague games where the USFL teams and the XFL teams would play each other. Because if anybody noticed, and I keep saying this as well, when you purchase your season tickets, you got 6 home games. And in St. Louis, there's a 7th. So all this has been like the breadcrumbs have been put out there that a merge was coming. I'm gonna just let you guys know that right now. And I'm gonna keep saying it. All the breadcrumbs have been out there, and all we had to do was just follow the trail. People weren't doing that. 8-1. What was 8-1? The announcement of season tickets. But what was the main thing about that announcement? When you paid attention after purchasing those season tickets, you had extra games. What are the extra games for? Why is there 6 games now at home and 6 games away? And then for the St. Louis ticket holders, why is there a 7th home game and still 6 home games and 6 away? But like, you know, so what's going on? The merge has been set up for months. There's a little bird chirping that, oh, the day after the XFL championship game, the heads of the XFL and the heads of the USFL already started talking. The XFL heads went to the USFL heads and was like, hey, we need help. We didn't do as well as we thought we were going to do, basically. The USFL is looking like, okay, we're in the same boat. But not only that, you guys were able to get fields for all your teams. That's a benefit for us. If you guys can get fields for all your teams, you can get us fields. Make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
just, it's so funny because you're right about that. Like each one had something that the other one was missing this year.
exactly.
You know?
The USFL has the presentation. You know what I mean? They have
Mhm.
the beautiful presentation on TV that gives you that football experience. The XFL didn't have that. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that the XFL could use. The USFL didn't have fields for all their teams. The XFL teams do. You know what I mean? So, like you said, those certain key elements enticed this merge. Now the question is, what rules do we keep? You know what I mean? What changes need to be made? You get what I mean? So now it's
I think that's what's going to be a while. Yeah, and I think that's why I'm saying they can't rush this. There's just too much to a lot of details to work out between the league. Just so not only just from the business side, from every aspect to the rules on the field, to the teams, to the players themselves, to the marketing for the fans. Like, so much to work out in a short amount of time. I mean, if you ask me, do the interleague play with the games, and if you want to know what would be a perfect scenario for me, for one of those interleague games to start the spring season in 2024 with the Birmingham Stallions against the Arlington Renegades, and gives people a little taste right off the jump by putting the two champions against each other to start their last seasons as singular leagues. And it would just be, I mean, this would get the fans so hyped, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
Yeah, you're right, Ignacio. You're right, Ignacio. So many details that both of them have to work out before the actual merge occurs. All we know right now, guys, is that the merge is happening. It is happening, guys. As far as the details and everything that comes after that, then, you know, that's as far as the details, that's going to come later. All we know right now is that the merge is happening. It's not officially done yet. We just know it's been agreed to. It has been agreed to. So, lot to work out, man. I just don't know.
Their intent is official. The intent to merge has been announced, and it's official. That's all that's really been said. There are no details that have been given, you know, of teams, rebranding of uniforms or logos or anything like that. None of that has been even spoken on yet, leaked, anything like that. So we're basically just going off of fan
speculation.
Wants, you know what I mean? And speculation. But it all makes logical sense if you look at the way I break this down. Again, XFL plays out their season, USFL plays out their season. They play damn, USC is just obliterating Colorado right now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, every man. Time. Yeah. My wife's my God. Oh, it's about to go to 28-7, man. First half.
But yeah, you have the XFL play their games out, USFL play their games out. They have one home game, one away game against, you know, interleague, basically XFL versus USFL, and then you have the playoffs. And in the playoffs, you have the XFL playoffs play through, crown a champion. USFL playoffs play through, crown a champion. Then you have the XFL champion, the USFL champion play each other and crown the inaugural NSFL champion. Because there's no other reason that they're going to go out there and get 22 trademark rights for the NSFL, National Spring Football League. Fox already owns it, or the USFL, already owns it. So they're merging. What is the point of owning that name and never using it? Now there's a reason to use that name. So just know that we're now going to be called the National Spring Football League, which makes perfect sense. Let's keep it real. But I just feel
it does.
If they set it up that way, especially in the first year, and they crown a champion, they can go into next year and add a couple more games, add a couple more interleague games. And then in the third year, add even more. And then in the fourth year, add a full schedule. You know what I mean? To where now the merge is completely official. You just take that 4 years.
I don't know if they'll take that long. I honestly think they would probably do the thing next year, like you're talking about, and then plan for a 2025 merge. Because I think because of the reasons that both of them are doing this, a lot of financial stuff, it would just kind of drag that out even longer, in my opinion. I mean, of course, here we are speculating because they ain't giving us. Give us something. Come on. Give us something to work with, man.
Instead of speculating, that's all we're doing is speculating. But still, at the end of the day, it just makes logical sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
because at the end of the day, being able to prepare this merge the right way, and the only reason why I'd said a 4-year process is because that's the way the AFL and the NFL did it. And if you noticed, look at the success that came with that. They took their time. They got a 4-year head start on the merge, right? And they took that 4-year time frame to merge, to actually officially merge. So that way, not only do you got the fan interest, not only do you see where those teams will be at, you know what I mean? You got players that stayed, of course, because now that's the National Football League. But I'm just saying it'll give them an opportunity to really make the merge happen last. That's the key, making the merge actually last. Because if you just throw this shit together and rush, there's no success that's going to come out of it at all. There's no success. You know what I mean? So they have to take their time. And I think that's
the only reason I think the 4 years, like, it's when you look at compared to what the NFL and the AFL did. I mean, how long ago was that? That was a long time ago.
True.
Not only has the marketing stuff changed, the fan interest has changed. Football is king now in the U.S. as it wasn't then. So I don't think they would need as long. But with that said, I do get what you're talking about, because that's probably the most you could call it recent if you want, even though it was so long ago, but that's the most recent example of a merge like this taking place within professional football. So I see where you're coming where you're coming from with that, because that was, the way they did it when they finally decided to merge the AFL and the NFL.
And Flame, I get the time frame is different. I'm just saying if it was necessary, 4 years would be a perfect time. Perfect time frame. 4 years will be perfect. And they could build it up. You know what I mean? But if it doesn't have to take that long, do it in 2 years. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because I don't think they would keep the fan interest in this merger if it went 4 years. At some point, people are going to be like, okay, y'all, we already know what's coming. Just freaking do it already after 2 years or something like that. You know how impatient, especially with social media now, people are, especially when it comes to football and stuff, man. They would just be like, all right, man, I don't want to watch no more because we know that half of these teams, we don't even know who's going to be here. But just a different time. But like I said, I also see where you're coming from because of the fact that that's the most recent example of professional football merging that we have to go off of. So I get that.
That's basically why I'm basing off that. But hell, it could take 2 years. You know what I mean? And it's official.
Yeah.
I
think it has to be no more than 2 years, though. I think it has to be no more than 2 years.
Exactly what I'm saying, and it'll be effective. Start the season, start the 2024 season off. Even if you add another game, and it's 2 games away, 2 games at home, where it's interleague, that's even better. You know what I mean? Because now you're giving us 12 games in the season. You know what I mean? Or actually, no, because it'll be.
No, you're looking at
14 games.
Well, right,
A 14-game regular season, and then you got the playoffs. You know what I mean? And then after the playoffs, you got to crown that inaugural champion. And then next season, you make the full schedule a interleague type of schedule. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to break them down into conferences, X conference, US conference, or the USFL conference, XFL conference, North and South division. Boom, you got your 4 divisions in 2 different 2 divisions in each conference. Period. And then when you're able to grow the league and add more teams and expand, then you'll be looking at making more divisions within those 2 conferences. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it could work out for the future if they do it right. If they do it right and they take their time, work out.
So I really don't.
Teams and spread the entire map. You know what I mean? We want to see a 32 team spring league. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, we're
because
way off from that, though. We are way off from that. Long
I know.
ways.
Oh, I know. But if we get that, if we can eventually get to that point, then we're gonna have spring football teams all over the map, and then that fan interest will be there. It could be that secondary explosion of the love of football still. Like people won't get burnt out because it's like, okay, now we got spring football to watch. You know what I mean? And we got a big league to pay attention to. So that's more players getting opportunities. That's more jobs. What's going on, SAJ in the building? But you know what I mean? That's more players, there's more jobs as coaches and the coaching staff and just the whole league itself. That really just makes for more, and that's the whole point of this. We want more out of this. So
yes,
the bigger the league is, the more you get out.
The problem is, like for it to grow that much, I mean, then it'll already be taking a step back if they eliminate some of these teams. What I want, to be honest, is I want a 16-team league to start with. We don't know if we're going to get that. Most of us are speculating at worst or best 12, but I want a 16. So if it takes you 2 years of putting this merge together to do so, so be it. So be it. You know what I mean? But you still got to make sure you have football in the spring. Whether the merger won't be complete for 2 more years, you still got to play these seasons, man, because if you lose the fan interest, it's going to be dead in the water before it even comes up, man, straight up.
That's a great question, SAJ.
Well, I've thought about this. I've thought about this with the NFL. I've thought about this. You look at teams like Birmingham, and why not? I mean, me and you have talked about this with El Paso and Albuquerque, here in my area. Like, why not put some of these spring leagues here? Yeah, you put spring leagues in these cities that are big, but just don't have NFL teams there. It can work. It can work. Yeah. And I totally agree with that, Jay. I agree with that. Like this is something that a lot of us have talked about actually, because Birmingham is a good example of that, and you see the team they have there, and there ain't no NFL team out there. I'll tell you that much.
And it's hard. Let's be honest. It's hard to put these spring league teams in cities where there's a NFL team, because where the hell are they going to play? Like, take the Vegas Vipers, for instance. We're having an issue of being able to play at Allegiant Stadium. Why? Because Mark Davis and the mayor wants to sit here and charge $500,000 for insurance and $500,000 just to play.
Damn.
That's a lot of money. We're not going to recruit that. We're not going to make that. We're not going to sell enough tickets for that because the marketing wasn't done right. Now, if we're putting 30,000 butts in the seats, then hey, maybe. But even still, it's gonna be, it's got to be to where you're not competing with the NFL. And like Jay says right here, I think spring league will survive, but only if you post the spring teams in cities that have no NFL team, no competition that way. And that's exactly right. I was actually just on the Orange Forward show last night with SAJ and the crew. So make sure you guys go and check out that latest episode from the Orange Forward podcast. We were on there live getting it in. But I think like New Mexico needs a team. Arizona needs a team. There's no spring football team in California, and we know why, the insurance. But even if we can get some teams in there, get a team,
because the potential for money on that market in California is huge. It really is, man. You just got to put it in the right place. Don't look at Los Angeles. Whatever you do, spring league, do not look at Los Angeles. Don't even think about going to Los Angeles. They barely want to support the 2 teams they got there. So it's just a matter of finding the right places. I've talked about San Diego. If you're going to go to California, there's places like Sacramento. But there's options. There is, but it all comes down. That's when it comes into the business side of things. How much money are we going to put into this market? Before we start seeing a return on it. But there's options out there. We talked about Arizona with Tucson. I mean, Phoenix is still big enough that it can support. They will support a team out there if they had it there. But I think Tucson will be more primed for that.
But Flame, you're talking about the AAF. That whole league folded. There was barely. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They had a good fan base, but when it comes down to it, this is exactly it. You have to do your research on the cities that are good football towns, and that's the thing. Like when they're thinking about this merge, they have to think about where to put that Canton team, or who they're going to move to Canton, things like that. Because Canton's a great town. You're playing in there already. Why not? But like Omaha, Nebraska, you know what I mean? They don't have no professional football team. Why not? That would be a prime place. How many people, there's really so many people in Nebraska that love football. You can tell by the Cornhuskers. You know what I mean? So even with the Cornhuskers not doing so well in recent years, people still love football in that town. So bring football there. Jay says New Mexico, West Texas has nothing to compete with, but tons of people that love football. El Paso, Santa Fe, Phoenix, something like that would be great. Who wants to drive 8 hours to watch the Cowboys lose? Am I right?
Oh, I think you got to edit that. You meant to put watch the Cowboys win, but I'm just saying. Actually, and he's right. Like I mentioned, El Paso. Well, there's nothing in West Texas, but El Paso is a massive market right there. As far as northern New Mexico, Santa Fe would be too small, but you got Albuquerque right there. Yeah, and we've talked about Maulers. Yeah, everybody, we've all been talking about the Maulers is the one that makes a lot of sense when it comes to Canton.
Because they're the closest. You know what I mean? What's going on, Honcho? It's my boy Honcho.
And I mean, I did see somebody meant like suggest like the showboats. I'm like, you don't want to do that because the support they got this year having football there. You want to keep that. You want to keep that there. Yeah, Santa Fe is too small, but Albuquerque would be perfect for a spring league team, man. Straight up.
Idaho, bro. No competition, but they love football out there.
Yeah.
Boise State,
see what
their stadium all the time.
What we're talking about here, y'all, like we're not talking about like expansion because they're not thinking expansion yet. What we're giving y'all is cities on where we think for the teams that have to move, the teams in the USFL that need a home. Expansion will come when the league actually is showing that it's stable and it's ready to move forward.
Exactly.
But right now, so just letting everybody know, don't get it twisted. We're not talking about expansion here. We're talking about where they can be putting some of these USFL cities, teams into these cities so that they don't have to get rid of any teams.
And that's exactly right, Flame. They would be stupid to move Memphis when they just brought them back. They're from the 80s run of the USFL.
They're one of the OGs.
I think it will be moving west is New Orleans. Sad to say. I think New Orleans will be going back to Portland because of their history.
Possibility.
The USFL had the Portland Breakers as well, before they moved to New Orleans. So you could be seeing the Breakers go back to Portland. You know what I mean? There could be a lot of different moves that get made before this merge even happens, before this season even goes down. Welcome in, Jackie. Good afternoon.
Hey, Jackie.
210 Brahmasita from the Horns Forward podcast. Her and SAJ, Mariachi Brahma, BD, and DJ. So make sure you guys go check out the Horns Forward podcast. And check out that Neon Green Mafia podcast with Deuce, Michael Lathrop, and Coach Saul. But I just think that a lot of these moves are going to be made, and they're going to go through, like you said, they're going to look at the history. I think they're going to go on the history of the USFL teams for some of these moves, as well as they may even look at some of the old places for the XFL teams from 2001. Let's keep it real. Had some pretty decent areas. San Francisco. You know what I mean? LA. We had what else? They were definitely in
You had
Birmingham. And
you had Tampa. Oh no, I wanted to say Tampa, but that was
Orlando Rage.
USFL. Yeah.
You had the Orlando Rage. You had the New Jersey Hitmen. You had the Chicago Enforcers. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot that could really happen.
You
There's a
know,
lot of
you're talking about like Los Angeles and stuff, and there's some of these markets that they got to stay away from. And I think like the New York and Los Angeles markets don't try to push that with any of these teams. I think like you're saying, it has to be the nostalgia factor. You know, that's what they want. You know, bring back some of those old heads too. You're trying to promote, you know, to promote it to the new younger fan bases, but you can also do it with the old heads too, with the OGs, man, people that remember and loved that league, because that's also where some of that money's going to come from. You know, you're going to get some of these veteran football fans who have the money to say, you know what, I'll travel to go watch my team. You know, if you're bringing back some of these old teams. So exactly. I totally agree with you, man. Like they have to be able to dip into the nostalgia of the 1980s when it comes to some of these teams. It's a good marketing strategy.
Even made a video in my XFL Now series and my USFL Fresh Start series that I do on YouTube. I even made a video about both teams, what it would look like if both teams expanded, or excuse me, both leagues expanded. And if they were to go back into the history books and take some of these old teams from 2001 in the XFL, bring back some of these old teams in the USFL from the 80s, like the Denver Gold, you know what I mean? The Oakland Invaders. There's so much that they could do. And at the time that I made the video, the USFL was actually getting the trademark rights back for a lot of their old teams. And everybody's like, oh, that's just for memorabilia and this, that, and the third. Well, look where we're at now.
Yeah.
They got those trademarks back for a reason now. We could be looking at a resurgence of a lot of these 1980s USFL teams. Just saying. Is it too far-fetched to think that now? After all that they've been doing, and now we got this merge coming? Is it too far-fetched to think that some of those 80s USFL teams are coming back, or even some of those 2001 XFL teams have a chance of coming back? We could be seeing another team in Chicago.
Yeah.
But just not directly in Chicago. Rockford, Illinois. You know what I mean? Like, why not? It's just like SAJ was saying, there has to be no competition. Like everybody's like San Diego. Yes, San Diego will be prime right now because the football fans of San Diego were robbed of their team. Let's just say it for what it is. They were robbed.
That's true. They were robbed. They were. And all because the NFL was dying to get that LA market money. You know, and now they're looking at it and they're like, damn, we can't even get any fan support out here. You know, in San Diego, like they're like, come on. So you're right. There can't be any competition because it's got to be not only in markets that are big enough to support a team like a team like this, but where they want it. You know, if you've got an NFL team somewhere, there's not that hunger for the football. You know, you love football, you support the team, but there's already a team there in place that people are devoting all their football passion to. You know what I'm saying? That's why like things like San Antonio was so big for the XFL, you know, with the Brahmas, because it was like people there wanted football, but the NFL wasn't paying no attention. So now we saw what the Brahmas did and the fan support and stuff. So just an example. But yeah, if they're just look at it as a place where there's not going to be a lot of competition, man. I agree.
Flame says, I don't see The Rock, Danny, or Jerry bringing any of those old teams in 01 back since it was a different time. And Vince was trying to be extreme in a sense with those team names. But those team names weren't bad. The Birmingham Bolts, you know, the Chicago Enforcers, the New York, New Jersey Hitmen. Those weren't bad names. You know what I mean? He said, if a team does go in Chicago, it'll probably be a whole new franchise. More than likely, yeah, it probably would be. But I'm just saying they have the opportunity to bring those back. You know what I mean? Because let's keep it real. There was there was nothing wrong with some of those team names, like the Orlando Rage, the Las Vegas Outlaws. You know what I mean? The San Francisco Demons. They weren't really bad names. Some of them were a little cheesy, like the San Francisco Demons was kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? The LA Extreme was kind of cheesy, but I don't think it's it could hurt. I don't think it could hurt. I think it could help because at the end of the day, they won't have to sit here and come up with brand new logos, brand new team names, things like that. Like Hit said earlier, retro be the wave. You go back and get some of those old logos and just throw a new team name on there. You know what I mean? Instead of the Chicago Enforcers, now you got the Boise Enforcers, or something like that. I'm just saying, like, it's so easy that they could do it.
But
and
I mean, also you also there's still the chance that whatever teams get moved, there's still the chance that their mascot names don't get changed, just the name of the city.
And
so that's why there's so much going on that we don't know what they're talking about right now.
Flame, no, you're absolutely right. It is a different time now. It is a different time. It is they do want to be completely different from that era, and I completely agree with that. I understand that 100%. And Ignacio, you can't say Vince didn't know football, because that rebirth in 2022, or in 2020, was looking good as hell. There was a lot.
That wasn't on him. That wasn't on him. He came out and said he was going to stay away from the football side that year. He said, "I'm just going to back it."
That's why I said you can't say he don't know football, because he knew his role. He stepped back and put somebody who knew football.
Well, he stepped back because he didn't know how to market football. That's what it is. So man, he can market wrestling. He can market wrestling. Well, because he let other people handle the football, though. Come on. If I don't know how to cook, I'm gonna let y'all do the cooking, and I'm just gonna sit back here and pay for the groceries. You know what I mean?
But that's
what he basically did.
But that's what I'm saying. He, in that second run, he's like, okay, if I want this to work, I got to stop trying to be the P. Diddy of this.
Yeah. That's a good example.
All the video.
All up in every video. Yeah.
You can't
with that fisheye camera all up on you, man. You can't do that. You can't do that.
It was like, I have to step back, know my role, and shut my mouth when it comes to this football shit. And put somebody else in position that knows what they're doing. And that's why I say he may not know shit about actually marketing football, but he knew what he had to do.
Yeah. He knew he wanted a piece of it. He knew he wanted a piece of that market.
That he knew he had to take his ass and sit down and put somebody else who actually knows about football. You know what I mean? And like Flame says, yes, that's the second run. The first run, he had to step since the ratings were down. Man, the first run of the XFL was just pure comedy. It was just like,
it was exactly what we expected, though, when we found out that it was the XFL and it was Vince McMahon and WWF at the time. We knew what it was, exactly what we expected. Let's be honest. It was made for entertainment purposes. To be honest. They were trying to cater to the football fans, but give them a little bit of their world. You know what I'm saying?
Just trying to mix wrestling and football together. And that's what he's, with the He Hate Me jersey, which was popping. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Can you imagine if social media had been around then? Like, that would have been a hashtag, man. Yeah.
Hashtag He Hate Me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So exactly. Ignacio says right here, XFL started as a mockery in the eyes of many,
Yeah.
And, Flame says, true, Vince is a hell of a promoter, which is his forte. He can promote bubblegum if he wanted to. Damn right. And he'll sell the shit out of that bubblegum. You know what I'm saying? With his damn voices and shit. So, it was it was mixed. He was mixing football in a with a sideshow, So it's
Yeah.
basically what we had to suffer with. But as far
But
as
it was something they tried and it didn't work and it was
yeah,
what it was,
but
to
as
be
far as the
honest.
merger goes, I just think they have to take their time and be patient and
Yeah.
make the necessary steps and take them slowly. Don't sit here and try to rush this merge all crazy
Mhm.
because it's going to
Yeah.
fail before it even gets off the
And
ground.
that's the thing, man, is we want so bad for this to succeed, bro. We want it so bad that this is why we're speculating, talking about what we want, because we know what we want. The fans know what we want. But let's be honest, the reality of stuff like this is we're not going to get 100% of what we want. There's going to be other things, whether it's financially or whatever, that we're not going to get what we want from the jump. But you know what? You give us about 75% of the way we want it, and we'll be happy. We'll be happy.
John, I have to
What's up,
apologize.
John? Hey, John, we got to give you props, man, for last week with the McCarron thing.
AJ McCarron did sign to the practice squad of the Cincinnati Bengals, but it was announced during the show. So that's how he was like, "No, you're tripping," because Trevor Simeon or Seaman or whatever his name is, he was supposed to be the one that was on the practice squad, and then
It's a
instead,
horrible name.
it is because I don't know whether it's Simeon,
Seaman, I don't know.
Whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Dwayne Johnson is much more serious about a serious football league. Yeah, he
yeah.
is.
He wants us to work. He really wants us to work.
Yeah, because he felt like the XFL 1.0 was a mockery. It was a sideshow. It was a disrespect to football. And that's another reason why he was so quick on buying the XFL.
And I think that he also, like, we all know his past with football, his college days, his passion for football has always been there. I think he saw an opportunity because I think I think something inside he feels that this opportunity wasn't there when he was playing football. And he feels if he had this after his days in Miami, maybe he could have worked his way into the NFL. But he's like, but something like this wasn't available. So I think that's one of the things why he's really wants us to work, because he talks about it so much. If you follow him on Twitter, he's always talking about it, about hashtag league of second chances, and it's always about guys that are getting signed into the NFL, because he's very, very passionate about trying to make this thing work, man, and give all these guys another opportunity and another route other than just college football to get to the NFL.
Yep. And that's key. That's key, man. And that's one thing that I can respect with that's one thing I came to expect from The Rock, his love for football. Flame says kind of odd. Read from Mark Cass kept saying the XFL was taking itself too serious, like it's a professional football league. It's supposed to
It
be
is a
serious.
professional football league.
That's my thing. Like I don't understand that, but
it annoys me when people try to allude to spring leagues as not real football or not professional football. It bothers me to know them, bro. Yeah.
That's what kills
right.
me with you're covering the CFL, but you don't expect the XFL or the USFL to be serious and treat it like it's a professional football league. What are they supposed to treat it like? A high school
like
football league?
2001? No, we already saw what 2001 did. It didn't succeed, because it wasn't serious. Yeah, that bothers me. That bothers me, man.
It's supposed to be serious. John says, I'm kind of hoping they leave the league separate this year to really give the time to get this merge right. The telling thing, though, is there has been no announcement on what's going on with the Vegas Vipers. The XFL needs to schedule games real soon. Oh, yeah. As I was saying on the Horns Forward podcast last night, as well as on the X Fan show earlier this week, we may be looking at the Vegas Vipers going to Reno and being called the Nevada Vipers. So that's kind of where we're headed right now when it comes to the Vipers, just so you know. Y'all know I'm a Fang Gang Nation lover. You know, I rep the Fang Gang strong. You know what I mean? We all bite, baby. But
let me ask you something, bro. What are the honest chances, whether it's smart or not, that they move out of Nevada and move them to Portland or something? What are the, to be honest, what are the chances that this happens? Because right now, we don't have a lot to go on. There, my guess is behind the scenes right now, they're trying to work out what to do with this team.
There's still a chance. I think I'm gotta be careful with what I'm saying here. Okay, so there's still a chance that could possibly happen as well. Nothing is sketched in stone that they're going to go to Reno. Nothing is sketched in stone that they're leaving Vegas or Nevada at all and going to another state. So anything is still in the cards. Let me just say that. But the more likely thing that could happen that we may be seeing here is the move to Nevada, or excuse me, to Reno. It's an 8-hour drive from Las Vegas. You know what I mean? And like a 45-minute flight. You can buy like a $49 round trip ticket and go see the game, come right back home. You know what I mean? Plus, those fans in Reno can now see a professional football team as well. So I think that, you know, moving them somewhere else would be stupid. But with this whole merge thing going on, you never know. You never know what they could actually do. Don says I was thinking Nashville because the USFL was looking to expand into that market. It would not surprise me if Nashville became a hub for 2 teams.
No hubs.
That would be so dumb.
Hubs. No
the
hubs.
hub thing would be dumb for one. The hub thing would be dumb. Exactly. I mean, you hired Blevins. Hopefully, they have the Viper situation sorted out. Exactly. We hired.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Him if they weren't going to keep him in Vegas, and they made it such a big deal, you know. I'm anything is possible. If they move from Vegas, they won't be in the death heat. That's not the problem. Screw the heat, because that's not even the problem. The problem is finding a field to play on.
Yeah.
And they could move to Reno. Another reason why Reno may be a good look is because it gets cold up in Reno. You know, it's not blazing hot like it is down here. You know, they're going up north. You know, it snows up north in Nevada. So, like, don't think that all of Nevada is just complete desert land and it's blazing hot in the summer and barely cold in the winter. No, when it snows out this motherfucker. So, I honestly think that the move to Reno is going to be what happens. But like I said, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But this is the Gridiron, man. We're going to keep you up to date on everything football, whether it's XFL, USFL, or should I say NSFL, NFL, NCAA. That's what we do. We're going to keep you guys live and direct. You know, I'm live.
And just a quick update for those that are interested. Number 8, USC. Leading Colorado at halftime, 34-14, man. It's going exactly as we thought. I'm actually surprised Colorado got 14 points on the board.
I was just about to say that, brother. I'm surprised they got 14 points and actually have some offensive yards this game in the first half. They're not going
to change in this. It could get worse in the second half, though, man. With USC making their adjustments.
Going into the second half with no points and 21 offense or 21 total yards. You know, they're actually going into the second half with some points and some offensive yards. So they're playing a hell of a lot better than they did against Oregon.
But USC is on pace to hit 70 points in this game, man.
But it's surprising that they only have 35 points. I'm gonna keep it real. It's surprising that they have 35 points, but then again, it's
I
not.
mean,
Because
only
I was
35 points
well,
though.
I was expecting 42, 49 at halftime.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
I was literally expecting that. But for Colorado to be fighting the way they are, they're playing a hell of a lot better than what they did last week. John says I hate Hubs too, but I think it's their economic reality. I fear the defenders might lose Audi because the USFL shies away from the MSL or the MLS stadiums because of their schedule.
The problem is that economic reality could be what keeps this league from succeeding even before it gets going. You know, because people don't want hubs. They've already said it. We've screamed it from the rooftops. Yeah, we've screamed it from the rooftops. And I know that they have to know this. The social media teams, you know, reporting in what they see to these people right now, to these corporate heads, and everybody are saying this. They're like, the fans do not want hubs. If you put them in hub cities to start this league, it's not going to be a good thing.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You're going to lose everybody if
you
Sandy.
Do yeah.
No talk. You'll lose everybody because nobody's going to want to watch this shit. I'm going to just tell it like it is. If we continue to have, and now, especially us XFL fans, after we got a season with all of our teams having their own fields to play at, and now you're telling us that our teams ain't even going to be playing at their home fields no more? Nah.
Yeah.
Nobody going to want that. No, they'll be stupid as hell. What they need to do is allow the XFL to help them get fields. Because if they don't, this shit's going to be done before it even gets started. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if they don't do like I'm saying and start this merge off with just playing some interleague games between the two leagues and having these leagues separately play their seasons out and then crowning a champion at the end, have champion versus champion, and then crown the NSFL champion, then boom. That'll work. If you don't do that, this shit ain't going to work. If you take teams out and try to revamp this whole entire thing before the 2024 season starts, this is going to be over before it's done. True. Exactly. I don't see them getting rid of Audi either. I don't think that the DC Defenders have anything to worry about. Why would you take away one of the biggest fan bases in the league? Why?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about the merge at all when it comes to it. But why would you do that? That would be stupid. Keeping Audi Field and keeping the DC Defenders in this new NSFL league would be one of the smartest decisions you make because you keep that beer snake, you keep them fans, you keep them lemons. You know what I mean? You keep that fan experience as well.
You need to, especially because it's the team that had the best record in the XFL last year. Okay. Runner up in the XFL championship. One of the strongest fan bases. So what you need to do, what they need to do is they're probably looking at this and saying, okay, this is one of the best things about the XFL. So don't change it. No need to change it. Certain things you don't need to change.
Exactly. Sandy says hubs will not work as the away teams have to pay the travel and possibly spend the night at the place that they're going. The economy doesn't have room for all that, which is exactly right. Ignacio says, I'm not willing to travel to Birmingham to watch my favorite team. I'd rather check out the city they represent. Exactly.
Yeah.
It says this merger is like playing chess. They better move the pieces in the right place or catch the L. It's not lemonade. Hey, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, about the Battlehawks, they'd be dumb as hell. Now,
that's another one.
That's another one. They have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
That's another one. That the Battlehawks are the team right now that they really cannot touch. You have to say, like, okay, we are going to leave y'all alone. You know, let you get your team put together, you know, and just let them be. Them and the Defenders and Arlington are those teams that they got to say, we're just going to leave y'all alone, even Seattle, and just say, let y'all do your thing.
Even the Brahmas. You're not going to get rid of the Brahmas. You think the Rock's going to let them get rid of the Brahmas? Hell no.
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
You're going to look at it like this. Yes, the Arlington Renegades won the championship. Yes, the DC Defenders had the best record in the XFL last season. But which team is the face of the XFL? The Battlehawks.
The
Let's keep it
Battlehawks. The
real.
Battlehawks are. They are.
Let's
They are.
keep
You're
it
absolutely
real.
right. Mm-hmm.
They have the most fans. They have the most support, and they be damn near packing that dome every game. So
Oh,
let's just keep
those
it real.
games. Even I'm not even a Battlehawks fan, bro. But every game I watched where they were at home, I mean, the fan excitement. It was through the roof. Through the roof. The fans were a big part of what was exciting to watch about that team this year.
Oh, that was fake news, Sandy. The Battlehawks aren't going to California.
Yeah, no,
It's too expensive right now in insurance wise for or
St. Louis and St. Louis fans will they will riot. You know what I mean? Because they finally got football back.
Exactly, and that's what I'm about to go to John's message here. But Flame says Fox isn't worrying about fans; they're banking on the TV revenue. Yeah, that was last.
That's
season.
why this. But that's why this merger is happening. Yeah,
on fans. They have to.
They have to.
But this is interesting. St. Louis added suites to the dome. The city dumped money into the dome and are redoing the field. Exactly. The Battlehawks are more than safe. The Battlehawks
they're not going nowhere.
The only teams you have to worry about right now moving somewhere is the Houston Gamblers, the New Orleans Breakers, the Vegas Vipers, and Pittsburgh Maulers. Real chill. That's 2 teams in the XFL, 2 teams in the USFL. No, not even. That's 3 teams in the USFL. Sorry. Because Pittsburgh more than likely is going to Canton. That's just a damn given. They're more than likely going to Canton. So, in all actuality, Vegas is the only XFL team that has to worry about moving. Seattle's perfectly fine, more than likely, from what they're saying. Seattle's fine. St. Louis is perfectly fine.
We've heard the the back and forth from people about the Houston teams. But I'm sorry, if you're looking at the Gamblers and Roughnecks have a much stronger fan base. They have a much better team. So it only makes sense to keep that. Plus, I mean, come on. I love the mascot. The Roughnecks, are you kidding me? Love that name. Can't do away with that.
You can't take that away. You definitely can't take that away. You know what I mean? I feel that if you do, I heard the same thing. John. That I heard about this rumor for them getting a hub in New Orleans, but this is the thing. You don't need no damn hub. You need a field. Screw these hubs. If you keep making these hubs, you're gonna fail before you launch, before the merger really takes off. If they say, "Oh, we're going to 6 hub cities," for what? For what? The XFL made all these deals with all the fields that their teams are playing on. So why know all them deals? Why X them out? That would be so dumb. You know what I mean? That would be dumb. But even
Flame, I like what Flame says.
even with Flame said, I've said multiple times, what does gambling have to do with the history of Texas compared to Roughneck?
Exactly, man.
It makes no sense.
I like
Cindy,
that.
I know you do. Hit says it's about teams who can bring in the fans and who knows how to keep their fans in tune with what's going on and engaging in and out of games are the ones not being touched. And that's they had a horrible time doing that. They had a horrible time doing that. Sandy says she looks for the Vipers to move. I mean, like I said, right now we're looking at Reno.
I think Reno makes a lot of sense, bro. It does. Reno makes a lot of sense. If they can't find a field, right now, if they can't find a field for 2024 for the Vipers and whatever league it's in, Reno makes a lot of sense, man. Why not?
Instead of moving the Vipers from Tampa Bay, moving them to Vegas, and now moving them to Portland or San Diego or where? Why move that franchise that many times in such a short amount of time?
Yeah,
it just makes no sense. And they will lose fans with fans. They will lose fans with fans with hubs. Exactly. Because we're all not going to pay attention to that shit. We're not going to pay attention to it. John says, I think market research is driving the hub model. Have a home team there, obviously, but have a second team there as well to gauge expansion. Or
Mm,
a stadium deal. It's the reason the Tampa Bay Bandits hit the axe and they went to the Steamboats. Well, both the Tampa Bay teams from both the XFL and the USFL, let's keep it real, neither one of them had a chance. Why?
yeah.
Because where are they going to play?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Tampa
And
Bay Bandits went away.
in response to that, John, from my part, I'm going to tell you, Jersey will tell you, I've been a guy since they were doing the hubs. I was okay with it. I had no problem with it. But my big thing was 2 years. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's going to survive. When they talked about before this merger, when the USFL season ended, and they talked about, well, we don't plan on putting any of these teams into their home markets. That right there, I said they won't survive season 3 then. They won't. Because the hub system is a temporary thing. And if you carry that into the new league, then it's not temporary because it's still continuing from the last 2 years. You see what I'm saying? So in terms of the market research, it's a temporary thing. 2 years is what has to be the temporary thing. We're past those 2 years now. So it will not survive. It will not. This league will not survive with hubs. It won't.
Because now you're forcing fans. And this is the thing. The XFL was huge on the fans being at the games. The USFL didn't care. They were worried about the TV ratings, which that's where they screwed up. That's why they were okay with the hubs, because they're like, hey, we're just worried about TV ratings. We don't care if fans show up or not. Which, excuse me, kind of bit them in the ass. Because if your fans ain't in the stands, how many people's gonna really watch the games? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Said, it's a temporary, good temporary thing to build up your money through TV. But again, temporary. The hub has to be no more than a year or two. Otherwise you start losing those fans.
And then doing a merge now and talking about going back to a hub system with all these teams, or taking teams away and going back to a hub system, it's over. It's completely over.
You know what? I'm gonna use that hashtag now in my on the Gridiron Nation posts.
Bro, real talk.
Yeah,
hubs don't get dubs, bro. And that's they got to think about that. Like, if you really are gonna put all these teams back in hubs and then take away teams, you know how many people are gonna literally walk away from this shit and stop caring and watching?
Let me ask you something on that. Okay, we've heard talk about 12 teams. Okay, it's all speculation, of course. And then the 6, we all want the 16, but we know there's a possibility that it won't be. I think at minimum, the most, it has to be 12 teams or 16. Now, if not having no hubs means eliminating 4 teams and making it a 12-team league to start with, are you okay with that? As long as there's no hubs.
I mean, I guess.
Or would you prefer 16 teams and have hub cities? If those are the only 2 options, if there was no hub cities, I would be okay with 12.
I'd be okay with it if there was no hub.
If having 16 teams means having some hub cities, I'm not okay with that. That's just me, though. I mean, every fan's got their own opinion on it, but that's just me.
But this is my thing. Why can't they do like the XFL did and just fly these players? Fly to the damn game. Like, come on. It's not, y'all got all this damn money. What are you trying to save? Like, let's keep it real. Even Ignacio says, I'm going to stop watching if the hub system remains. And so will a lot. So will a lot of people. If it was all hubs, they just pushing the fans to NFL because they have no hubs and can go to games. Exactly. Exactly. If your fans can't show up to the stands and be able to get into the stands and sit their ass down and enjoy the game and give the people at home watching that football experience that you get when you're watching a football game, this shit is not going to last. This is not going to last. We got to stop. No. hub depending on location of the hub, like PA. No, that's horrible. That's horrible. Because if it was so easy to get a hub out there, then the Philadelphia Stars should have had their own field, Pittsburgh Maulers should have had their own field, and the Generals should have had their own damn field. They shouldn't have been playing in Canton. Who wants to drive? Like, that's what really killed me. Like, for the New Jersey fans, who wants to drive 2 states over to go to a football game? Just to represent their team. Like, come on.
Yeah, and especially with the Spring League. See, Spring Leagues, these haven't been around to create the amount of hardcore fans that are going to drive 12 hours like I did to go watch the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And the amount of money. So you can't expect fans to have that same kind of willingness to do something like that across the board for Spring League because they're not there yet. You know, so yeah, you're right. They have to take all of this into consideration when it comes to location. You have to.
And it's not like we're anticipating the season every year. You know what I mean? Because it hasn't been consecutive. Like we haven't.
That's the problem, man. Yeah, like there's a lot of hesitation for fans to get on board with spring leagues because of that. They're like, I ain't gonna watch it. Why? It's not gonna be here next year. You know, I've heard people say that. Like, what for? You know, I'm not gonna watch it. Like, it's not gonna be around.
Or they're like, what is the point of watching? They're not even playing out here. What's the point of saying, hey, I'm gonna go? There's no venue.
What's the biggest thing that you've heard from people like NFL fans why they won't watch? They clown the lack of fans in the stands. USFL. You know, they clown the pumping in of the crowd noise. You know, it didn't bother me, but every fan is not the same. So they need to get these people in their home city so that there's fans there. There's genuine noise and excitement. As when, like you said, when you're watching the game and you get that. I talked about it with the Battlehawks. That's why I loved watching the Battlehawks games this year, man, because their crowd was just so passionate about this team.
DC too.
You know, and
I loved watching the Bear Snake.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah, even
when you sit here and you make a whole thing just for your fans, come on now.
A gimmick when your own fan base has their own gimmick. Yeah.
These guys are throwing lemons and building a snake out of beer cups. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the joy of watching. That's the football experience you want to see when you're watching the game. That's what you want to have. You're like, yo, that beer snake is hard. I wish I was there to be a part of that.
And you're absolutely right, John. Like, this is why, like, that moving a team to Canton, a home team in Canton, I should say, has to be a priority.
Yeah, they got to get Pittsburgh out of there. They got to get Pittsburgh out of there. I'm gonna keep.
Come on, it's the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's a field there already that they use. Exactly. Yes.
It would not hurt to paint the damn ground with a Maulers logo and call them the Canton Maulers. And every game they have, you see a Canton Maulers logo in the middle of the field and not USFL. Or that's another thing I hated too. It was like, why do you guys put the league's logo on the field instead of painting the team's logo on the damn field?
The home team. The home team. Yeah, whoever the home team was for that game. Yeah.
It makes no sense to me, man. And I just think that, you know, this merge has to be done. Exactly. Piping in that weak ass crowd noise makes your product look so insincere. With how people's wallets be nowadays, they be like, I don't want to spend all this extra money to watch my team play, or just spend it on a team I can watch in my budget. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of people aren't. That's the thing. They don't want to spend that money to travel all the way. And it's supposed to be a home game, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Your fans are going to an away game for a home game. That's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. And if they decide to do that, they're going to see the fall of spring football. We're going to clearly see that. I guarantee you guys. If they bring out the hub system and do this whole hub thing, it's going to crumble. And it's not going to last a year. I promise you that. Now, John says, it's why I love my season tickets for DC. I spent less on season tickets than on one Giants game.
Exactly. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, man. They can really help build their fan bases like this if they get the teams, first of all, in their cities, because then you can start selling tickets for a lot less than what it's going to take for me to travel out of town to watch my NFL team. You know what I mean? Like, hell, even Arlington being my team, they're right there, right across the street from the Cowboys. But I guarantee you it's going to cost me a lot less to travel to go watch the Arlington Renegades play a game than it would the Cowboys. So that is a very, very good point when you look at it financially for the average fan, John, right there. Definitely.
So let's do this, guys. It's about that time. Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. Yes, sir. My boy Hit coming with them questions. As always, first question, Hit asks, what do you think impacts a team more, injuries or trades or both? That's a
I'm gonna say I could say it right off the bat. For my opinion, injuries.
No
I think
problem.
it's the more. What's up, Angel? My brother, what is going on, dog?
Welcome in.
But I think injuries, because it's more common, and you could be hit by quite a few impactful injuries in a matter of weeks, you know. And whereas a trade, you may trade off, like let's say Arizona with DeAndre Hopkins, and you're losing that one good player, whereas opposed to where you're losing a couple, you know. So for me, it would be injuries.
For me, it would be injuries too, but depending on the trade, yeah, hey, exactly. I was just gonna say that. Dallas, for example, last week, showed, you know, us losing Trayvon Diggs for the entire season.
And 3 offensive linemen that weren't there.
Tyron Smith and not having Zach Martin and not having Tyler Biadasz, and that showed. You know what I mean? And it's very impactful. Those injuries are way more impactful, but depending on the type of trade, like if you're trading away 3-4 impact players, then that could change a whole culture of a team. You know what I mean? The team can look one way one year, then the next year after this whole offseason moves, you done got rid of 3 of your best players. Yeah, your team's going to be totally different. But I think injuries are a lot more impactful.
Yeah, especially because with a trade, a team knows what they're doing. They plan. You can plan for a trade, or you know what's coming, what to expect the coming season, or you plan for it by saying, okay, we're trading away this guy, but we're getting 2 extra picks this year, so we're going to use that to compensate for what we've lost. Whereas an injury, you don't get no compensation. You know, an injury, and you don't prepare for that because, just like John said, it's unpredictable. So you're not really prepared in the sense of looking ahead, because all of a sudden, bam, you've lost one of your premier players at an impact position. You know, whereas if you're trading them away, you're like, okay, we know there's gonna be a drop off here at wide receiver a little bit, but we're gonna be ready for that. We're good or bad, you know. So it is. I guess it's the impact that kind of makes the difference there.
Yeah. For sure. All right. Wait, what was that? Injuries are unpredictable and can happen more, and trades are more predictable, and you know what's going to happen. You're exactly right. It's second question. It says, for the record, let's say this merge is real. Do you think this will be a good thing looking into the future of spring football, or hurt it?
Depends.
taking
It depends. It's like we've been saying, it depends on how they approach this first season, because this first season, I think, is going to make or break the direction that this league goes in. If they handle it the right way and they find a balance between catering to what the fans want, but also doing what's smart market wise, then they could. Then it could succeed. But the fact of whether it'll be good or hurt it, we don't know. I mean, we just don't have enough details. I think it's a good thing. I think we all agree overall it's a good thing that they're merging. The thing is, how they're going to handle the first season is going to be very telling of the direction that it goes, up or down after the first season.
Yeah, it definitely depends on how they handle it. If they go about it the right way, it'll be very, very good for the future of the league. If they go about it the wrong way, it's like I keep saying, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble, and they're not going to be able to bounce back. We'll never be able to. If this merge, I'm gonna just say it like this: if this merge is unsuccessful, spring football's dead.
Yeah, we'll never hear from it again because nobody will support it ever again. Because you won't be able to trust it. You won't be able to trust it. But I'll tell you one thing too, is we know, see, one thing we're excited about, bro. Let's be honest, is we know we're going to get something better on TV because we're going to get the XFL excitement with the USFL presentation. So it's going to be awesome. The key here is what we've been talking about this whole show is how are they going to do it with the fan interaction, which comes down to hub cities or no hub cities, where the teams are going to be. Everything that is not on TV is going to be what makes or breaks this league. Because we know what we're going to get on TV is going to be dope. It is. But it's going to be a matter of where these teams are and how the fans react to all of it.
Yep. That's the major thing. So
the
way they do it is going to either make or break.
That's right. Here, it's like a chess game at this point. It is. It's where they place their pieces on the board is going to be very instrumental onto the success or the failure after the first season.
John says, I think this came about because Disney is walking away from ABC and ESPN. I really think the Disney rumpers of it wanting to unload those networks is partially driving this merger with Fox. Yeah, because there ain't going to be nowhere to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ignacio says, again, XFL, USFL must take their time and work out all the details over the next year or two. Yeah. DeMarcus, welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate What's up, DeMarcus?
In. DeMarcus says, hubs may save money, but the fans in the stands create interest and loyalty. If they keep that XFL energy, it'll work. But if not, it'll flop. That is exactly the truth. That is exactly right. That is 100% exactly what they need to think about. They need to sit back and think like, okay, do we want the fan interest, the fan loyalty, or do we just want to make money off the TV? Because let's look at it this way. If you don't care about your fan loyalty and your fan interest, you ain't going to make no damn money on the TVs.
No. And that's why I'll continue to say after I was okay with it for 2 years, but after 2 years, okay, it's like, all right, no, not anymore.
And then the fact that you added more hubs in the second season and you're thinking about adding even more hubs, what the hell is the point of having all these hubs? You can just get fields for these teams.
Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, it makes sense. So
might as well take the city out of the name of the damn team.
Right.
Because XFL, you know what I mean?
The USFL's such and such. Like, they don't even call it a damn city team or a state team. Don't let it represent any city or state if you're not going to have them playing in that city or state. It's dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
It's dumb as hell. Hashtag hubs don't get dubs. Thank you.
I'm telling you, we're going to make that an official hashtag. You're going to see it.
Hubs don't get dubs. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, here to answer your question, it just depends on how they handle the merge, bro. Most definitely. Last question from Hit we got today. He says, what do you want to see changed in the spring league or NFL from rules or plays, etc.? We
There's a lot.
About this damn day.
Yeah,
You can sit
yeah.
here
I
all
was just
day
thinking
and
there's a
lose
there's a
nothing.
lot. There's a lot, man. Yeah, yeah.
I want to see the NFL adopt the XFL's kickoff model
Yes. And
because
to be honest, I want to see them adopt the playoff format. I would love to see every league doing this playoff format that the XFL does. But
but
the kickoff
well,
is the most likely to come in
they kind of
across
do
the
the
leagues.
playoff already like that though.
No,
Best team in the
for the
division.
XFL, no,
Yeah,
because
best team in the division.
the way they do it is where you get the ball, you get what is it, 3 chances from the 2 yard line, and each
Oh, you
team
mean the
takes turns.
overtime?
Oh,
You mean the
overtime. What did I
overtime?
say? What did I say? What did I say? Playoff?
The
My
playoffs?
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, my bad. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That was my mistake.
yeah.
I meant the overtime is what I want because the overtime format, I love it. I just when I first saw it with the Battle Hawks, man, it was like every single time that one of these teams came up to the line for one of those 3 chances, it was like watching a big playoff game with the game on the line on each one of those plays, man. And the crowd was into it and it was exciting. It
Yeah.
wasn't this whole, okay, who's going to get the ball first? Okay, if they score a touchdown, the other team don't, no. I love the format for the overtime for the XFL, but I think I didn't mean to go away from what you said. The kickoff is one that I think everybody, any league that wants to call themselves a professional league in football should be
Hell,
doing because not only is it safe, but you're giving these returners an opportunity to shine as well.
do it in college. Why not?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome to see in college. I'm tired of watching football games and every time they kick the ball off, nobody's returning the ball. It's
Yes.
just
Yeah. And
boring.
like I said it the other night, why in the NFL, when they moved the kickoff forward so that there's more touchbacks, then you know what? Just eliminate the damn kickoff altogether and give them the ball at the 25 after the other team scores a touchdown. Unless you're doing an onside kick, like you said, because there's no point to it. There's no point to the kickoff anymore.
At
So
all.
I agree. Just that kickoff is something that even college, every football league needs to be
Needs to
looking
adopt.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the playoff or not playoff, the 2-point
The
conversions,
over
the
Yes,
overtime
the 2
rules,
point.
even
Yeah.
all the like the 2-point, 3-point. I would love to see the
And I
3-point.
like that. That's one thing I like that the USFL does, and I know the XFL does it too. But that the whole 3-point play, option is I like it. Um, Everything you are saying, especially the kickoff and extra point attempts, overtime format is fair and much better than XFL. It's like that. Well, I think you meant NFL because I love the XFL is the one I'm talking about. That I want that overtime format. That's the format I
No,
want.
I get what he's saying. The overtime format is fair and much better in the XFL compared to the
Oh,
NFL.
I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah,
I
okay,
totally agree. And it's like it is like the penalty kicks in soccer.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely something that they should definitely look into. No point in putting player on the field if it goes into the end zone. Exactly, it's like a
Now,
waste. It's a
let
waste of
me
time.
ask you this,
And
bro. One thing I would like to see the spring league keep, but I don't ever want to see it in the NFL is the XFL's version of where you get an opportunity to either do an onside kick or you get the 4th and 14 option.
fourth and
I
15.
love that. But I don't want to see it in NFL. But I would love to see them keep it in spring league, keep it original to the spring league. The Battlehawks used it twice this year successfully, and it was just amazing to watch, man, because they were able, when it looked like you were out of a game in the XFL, you were never really out of a game because of these types of things, man. And it made it exciting, but I wouldn't want to see it in the NFL. That's
But I
just
would
one
want
thing.
to see the 3-point conversion in the NFL.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would actually
Why
love to
not?
see the 3-point conversion and
The option. Yeah.
take away the extra point kick. Take that shit away. I'm
I'm
sorry.
okay with the extra point. I'm okay with the extra point from the 15-yard line because it's no longer a gimme. It's no
Or
longer a gimme.
you have 2 different 1-point extra points. You can either kick for an extra point for 1 point. You can either run the ball in like they do in the XFL, from the what 2-yard line, and then you got the 2-point conversion from the 5, and then the 3-point conversion from the 10.
See, the
but
thing
you
with
keep them
NFL though
four
is
options.
I think with the NFL though, it becomes you don't want it to become too muddy like that where you have 4 or 5 options after the touchdown. You know what I mean? Give them 2 to 3 options at best, and I think that's okay. Now, as far as spring league goes, I'm not okay. Excuse me, I'm not against them keeping that and doing what you're saying because spring league has to have its own original rules as well in some places, man, to make it more exciting. But stuff that I just don't think is something that you want to see in the NFL. But I could see them doing a 3-point play, like you're
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, even if they
Maybe
do the
maybe if maybe if you maybe you get the 1 point kick from the 15 and the 2 point conversion from the 2, or you go for a 3 point conversion from the 10,
yeah,
or something like that. So
or
that I
back
would
the
like to see.
if you're gonna back up the extra point kick to the 15-yard line, why not back up the 2-point conversion?
Yeah, to
You know
the
what I
5
mean?
or
Back it
something
up to
like
the
that.
5.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
it up to the 5, then you got the 3-point conversion at the 10. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
An
And
option. Yeah,
then your kickoff extra try is perfect. It's at the 15. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's a longer
yeah.
distance. So that is what I think the NFL should do when it comes to those rule changes as far as the extra try after the touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be something that they could look to adopt and like you said, keep it in spring where they get 4 options. Kick,
Yes.
run from the one, or attempt a 1 point conversion from the 2, 2 point from the 5, 3 point from the 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
either you kick it from the 15. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you say, you
Uh,
just take away you take away the 1 point running option, running a play option out of the NFL and just have it to where it's like that.
yeah. Because like I've never had like I was okay with like when they first announced they were moving back the extra point kick because I'm like, okay, now it's not a gimme. Now
Right.
you got to make sure you have a kicker that's going to be able to hit these kicks. And
Hmm.
so I'm okay with them keeping that the way it is. But yeah, I think of all of them, the one you mentioned first, the kickoff, it seems to be the one that's going to be the first one that leagues are taking from
Yeah.
the XFL because it just makes so much sense because you bring excitement back to the kickoff, but you're also making it a lot safer because guys aren't running downfield, with a full head of steam. So I think that's the one right now, though, that we can really depend on probably being the first change that goes into the NFL being pulled from spring football.
Yep. DeMarcus says right. Spring league can't be NFL junior. It has to have a spin and feel of its own, which is
Yeah.
exactly right.
Hmm.
Um, Hit says I get you. Your originality pumps up your league because it's not what everyone else is doing. I know what he meant to say. Yeah, so
Yeah.
exactly. It's just certain things that they do have to implement and certain things that they have to, what's going on, Prince? Welcome in, brother. There's
What's
certain
up,
things they
Prince?
have to implement and certain things that just have to keep, but that kickoff, that's the main thing that needs to change in every league of football, whether it's
Yeah.
college, NFL, spring league, that kickoff, it just needs to happen because
Yeah.
more safer for the players, and you get a return. You get to watch a player return the ball. And if
Yeah.
you kick that thing in the end zone, then you're giving up a lot of field position.
Exactly.
Like the 45. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you do that, it's not going to be a problem. Everybody would like that. People want to see kick returners again. Like we want to see kick returners not just on the punt. You know what I mean? We want to see touchdowns taken back. And we've
Yeah.
seen how many touchdowns returned for a touchdown, or how many kicks returned for a touchdown last season in the XFL. At least 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, it needs to happen. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and
It's
I mean that was what got Cavante Turpin to the NFL
Mhm.
was the return game. So yeah, I mean it's just something that people want to see, and it gives players that like. Let's say they had this rule in back when Devin Hester was, if the NFL was doing kickoffs now, back when Devin Hester was doing his thing, we would never seen a guy with his impact. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Because that's where he's shown, and they've kind of taken that away. So I agree, man. Get that going. Hopefully, as soon as next year in the NFL, we'll be seeing this kickoff. But I definitely agree, Spring League needs to keep it, and I think they will.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Hit, for the fan mail questions. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Sandy asked a very good question. She says, if this merge goes through, do you see prices going up?
That's a very good question. Yeah.
Trying to do. I'm still not paying $189.99 for a damn jersey. I'm sorry.
No, that was crazy, man. The USFL prices were good. Those were good. Looking at what, like 80 some bucks for jersey.
And I think that's what they'll do. I think we may actually see prices go down, Sandy. I think we actually may see prices go down.
Especially at the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the beginning.
And Sandy, to answer your question too, I think that it just depends, you know, if they adopt, you know, the prices from the USFL, then merchandise prices will be cheaper. If they adopt the prices from the XFL, shit, it may go up. We don't know. So it's just a waiting game now, you know. It's really just a waiting game. John says family-friendly pricing is driving both leagues, which I hope they do, you know. I hope they do. Ignacio says allow the kickers to show their accuracy. Ain't no accuracy in just kicking it as hard as you can into the end zone. Exactly. Angel says they better not. It better go down. Those prices are ridiculous. Not even the NFL is that bad. Exactly. The NFL isn't even charging that much for jerseys like that. It's customized jerseys and stuff like that. It's only that high because people weren't buying tickets. True, but this is my thing. Here's the thing that killed me, bro. The ticket prices were so cheap. This is what I did not understand about that. You know, the ticket prices were so cheap to go to a game, right? You're buying what? You're spending what, $22, $25 on a ticket? You know what I mean? But you got to spend $189.99 on a jersey? No, XFL was tripping with that. You know what I mean? And that's what really kind of hurt, because how many people are going to sit here and spend damn near $200 on a jersey and it's not an NFL jersey?
Exactly. You don't even pay that much for an NFL jersey unless it's one of those special edition ones. You know what I mean? And that was crazy. That was crazy. But
nowhere near that much on the NFL website for it. It's crazy.
And I like what John said is true. Family-friendly pricing is driving both leagues, because that when they first come in with this NSFL inaugural season, one thing they cannot do is drive those prices at the stadiums up, or the ticket prices, because you'll lose the people after that right away. Anyways, even if it means you losing a little bit of money in that first year, you have to make sure that this is family-friendly pricing to get people to these games, because you want them at these games so that when the presentation on TV comes up, it looks good. You know,
because there were so many people, like I can tell you from experience for the Vegas Vipers, barely anybody had on a damn jersey, because nobody wants to spend $189.99 on a damn jersey just to go to a game. That's crazy. That's nuts. You know, and I think that hurt. You know, that was dumb. You got your merchandise all expensive, but then a person can sit here and pay $20-something for a ticket.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What sense does that make?
And that's the reason I seen so many people online that were making knockoff jerseys and selling them cheap, man. Like you were talking about, like $40. And these people are taking your business because you don't want to lower your prices on your merchandise. Come on now. Come on. That's why we go with the knockoff sites, man. Too much.
Sandy, I agree with this too. Sandy says the NFL is trying to compete with the XFL. They don't want people going to the game, so if they lower their prices, they'll keep fans coming to their games, which is true. You know what I mean? If you can sit here and sell an NFL ticket for $100 and something for one damn ticket, damn near in the nosebleeds, but I can go and be front row, you know what I mean, or right in the end zone in the very front row for $25. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to an XFL game before I go to an NFL game. And that was smart on the XFL. That was smart. But when you're overpricing your merchandise higher than the big guys, that wasn't smart. Because the NFL doesn't, like we were just saying, the NFL doesn't even have merchandise prices.
Let me tell you something, bro. What is one of the best forms of advertising for teams and sports? It's merchandise. Merchandise. Mm-hmm. You see people wearing merchandise around town, around everywhere. Well, guess what? You're not getting that kind of advertisement if it's too expensive for people to buy this merchandise. You know what I mean? So that they got to think about it that way too, man. They got to think about it that way.
Yeah.
Whoever made that marketing decision, I hope they're not. I hope they were part of the cut. I hate saying that. I don't like seeing people lose their jobs, but damn, come on, man. People think we're made out of money, man. Come on, man. Now, we're all working class people. $200 for that jersey. You're out your damn mind.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm not spending that. I'm sorry. I'm not. I never would. I'm looking for a knockoff ASAP. Find me.
That's right.
Go find me somebody who's making them damn jerseys.
You send me that jersey from China. I don't give a damn.
Right. I got the DHL truck pulled up this morning. Let's switch gears, guys, and we'll definitely keep you guys up to date. Most definitely on, what's going on with this merge. We get any more news on the merge, of course, we're gonna definitely bring it to you guys. But now we're gonna just jump into some picks for this week in the NFL games. Gabe, do you have the matchups?
I do have the matchups. I do. Now, we got the Thursday night matchup already went through. We saw what happened there. Detroit. That's one that I was kind of disappointed in Green Bay. They're at home. You're on prime time. I expected a better performance than that. I mean, what they had, what was it like? What was it like? 5 rushes or something for Aaron Jones and his return. Christian Watson was back. He had like 2 or 3 catches. So it was a very disappointing game for them all around. But Detroit, on the other hand, man, that we knew their defensive line was going to bring it. So, Aiden Hutchinson is just a damn monster, dude. But so that one has already come and gone. Obviously, Detroit got the win. Now, the first matchup I'm looking at here is we've got, it's a big one. Miami traveling to Buffalo. Yeah. How do you see this one? Now, we did talk about this on Tuesday, but a lot of the viewers here, they weren't there. On Wednesday, on the Wednesday show, man. So give me your take on this game, dog. I mean, we got Miami coming off that. I don't even want to say an ass whooping to Denver because that was like I don't know, Alabama against a Division II school in NCAA terms. How do you see this game going, man?
A lot of people don't agree with me on this, but Miami gonna go into Buffalo and have fun. I don't give a damn how good Buffalo's been playing. Hear me out. I don't give a damn how good Buffalo's been playing. They're getting Jalen Waddle back. They put up 70 with just Tyreek Hill. 2 of their running backs got over 200 yards rushing. Stop. Miami's going to stomp them. Miami's going to stomp Buffalo. And Buffalo still ain't got Von Miller. Just saying.
That's true. But they're still looking good without him, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got Buffalo winning this game. First off, they're not Denver. This is not in Miami. They're not gonna. This isn't gonna be like a freaking smack to the face that is unexpected like they got last week. Buffalo knows what's coming to town. They know who's coming to town. And I don't think Buffalo's not intimidated, man. Like they're thinking, like you said, like how you said, I don't care how good Buffalo's playing. Right now, Buffalo's like, we don't give a damn what they did to Denver. Because that win still shows up all the same on that win-loss column. You got a better defense in Buffalo. Now, one thing that is big here, yesterday it was reported that safety Jordan Poyer for Buffalo, all-world safety, he will not be there. This is going to be major because Jalen Waddle is healthy. You've got both of those speedster receivers back. So the only way I see Buffalo winning this, as I do see them winning, is that they're going to have to really keep the ball on the ground. We're going to see Josh Allen running a lot. He always does, but I think we're going to see him running a lot, and I think Diggs is going to have a big day. Problem is, will Gabe Davis? Gabe Davis has to really have a big day this week if they're going to compete, because it is going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah. But let's be honest. It's going to be a high-scoring game. In order to keep from getting blown out, though, Gabe Davis, you're going to have to show up, because I guarantee you the other two receivers on the other side, Waddle and Hill, they show up every week. So Gabe Davis,
Josh Allen,
show up.
Better hold on to that damn ball, or it's going to be a long day in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But, guys, we got a special guest real quick. We got to figure out what's going on. We got the one and only Dirty in the building, and I think he got some news.
What's up, Dirty?
On?
What's up, Dirty?
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Just another wonderful Saturday afternoon. Phone's been blowing up all day with XFL BS and all that good stuff. Watching the show and read some of the comments from about the XFL and the merger and all that stuff. So, so I had to hop on.
Man, we appreciate you, bro. Straight up, man.
Well, listen, you guys are part of the X-Fan Legion, that we got going on here. We're trying to build this. But, I mean, now really the question is should we call it the X-Fan Legion, or should we call it the Spring Fan Legion now?
You go, hey, I like that. I like that.
Spring Fan Legion.
I mean, look, here's what we do know. As of September 28th, I know that it says that intent to merge, right? Well, here's what we know. We know this isn't an intent to merge. We know this is a full-fledged merger. Now the question is which way do we go? What teams are we keeping? And all of that stuff. So, like, if you really look at it this way, in Jersey, I know you're going to get sad, man, so I don't want to hurt your feelings, brother. But and if you look at it as we speak right now, there's going to be 7 teams from the XFL and 4 teams from the USFL.
Ouch.
Because those are the teams that all have home cities, right? Now, doesn't mean that it's not going to be, it's going to be that way. It's just if you look, the breadcrumbs are there for you to find. It's just how much research do you want to do to look for it? I do know that I've had some connections in Vegas that have reached out. In Jersey, I know that you've mentioned this on a few other shows, which you mentioned it on our Thursday show. It does look like the Vegas Vipers might be finding a home for a $49 round trip ticket to Reno.
Yes, sir.
So I know that started to become a possibility now. So here's the thing. This is like when I'm sure this happened in the NFL days when the AFC and the NFC merged, right? It's which team's better, which league is better. And the NBA when they absorbed the ABA, right? Of course, none of us like this right now. We're all freaking out, figuring out who's going where, who's coming what, right? But if we want this spring football thing to last, we got to support this entire endeavor. In good, bad, whatever, we got to support it. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
So, me, I love making speculation. I love making speculations.
Yeah. The thing is, Dirty, like, from my opinion, the thing is, us fans of these spring leagues, yes, we want this to succeed. We will support it, whatever they give us. The problem is they got to make sure that they find that balance, because the only way it's going to grow and succeed is by bringing in the casual fan, by bringing in the NFL fanboys who have this little thing in their head about it not being pro football, but you want to pull them in. They have to find a way. There's got to be that balance, because people like us, we are going to be here. We're going to support it. But I think the whole intent of this merger is to try to make it grow. And like you said, it's all speculation by us because they're being greedy with the details at this point. So it's kind of frustrating. Like I was telling Jersey earlier, it's a little bit frustrating because there's so much speculation and all of us are talking about what we want to see, but we know we're not going to get everything we want. So at this point, it's just a matter of how much are they listening to us, to the social media boards.
Exactly. So here's how you really got to look at this. We both know that both of these people had partnerships with the NFL. Now, the NFL has later come out and said, and the NFL's player union has come out and said that, we're not going to fully get behind spring football unless there's one giant league to use them as a developmental league. Okay. So regardless of what we want to say, this is smart for both of these leagues to merge into one league.
Yeah.
Because now what you've just done is you've opened up way more opportunities for these guys to become a developmental system to the NFL. And that's what they need.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been saying it for a while now. We don't want it to be that way as far as NFL owners owning these spring league teams. But being a full-on developmental league for the NFL only makes it better for the NSFL or whatever we're going to be called. It only makes it better in the future and in the long run. Because if you become the NFL's developmental league and the NFL is acknowledging that, your fans go from here to here.
Yeah, and that's why like I just mentioned about them wanting to bring those NFL fanboys over. This is how you do it. Exactly. Now I think there's got to be a question of the thin ice of how much control the NFL will have if that ever comes to that, because you don't want NFL having too much control here in terms of how the league itself is run and the product on the field. But the NFL wants to control everything they touch. That's the problem.
Right. But now here's the thing you got to think, Gabe. Let's look at it. Look what gear you're decked out in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. What team are you wearing? What team are you wearing? Who's signed more spring football players than any other team in the NFL?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys got 2 players on that 53-man roster right now.
That's what I'm saying. Is you see that Jerry Jones believes in the spring leagues. Jerry Jones has, if I'm not mistaken, has even went on his weekly show he does there in the Dallas area and said that he believes in spring football. And if you're talking, they already have the partnership with Fox, the NFL does.
Yes.
They already have the partnership with NBC, with Amazon. So by merging these two leagues, with Fox now being, whether we want to believe it or not, Fox possibly being the main person who runs this entire league, it just makes it better for these players because now their eyes are going to be seen by the NFL more. It's one place to get one tape. It's all condensed. Now, does it make me happy? No. But at the same time, I understand why they do it. Did it make me happy when the Lambs left St. Louis to go back to LA to become a $2 billion franchise? No, it didn't. But I understand why they did it. I understand why the USFL and the XFL are merging. Now it's time for us to quit saying which league was better.
Yeah.
And so let's support this league.
Yeah.
Let's go out and buy the merchandise for all of these teams. Let's go and buy a keychain or whatever. That's what it's about now. Support this. Make sure this lasts if we still want spring football.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. I'm going to go back and watch I got to go back and watch Air. I was just watching the Air Jordan. Had you guys playing on, and I was reading the comments. So I was like, you know what? I got to jump on real quick and clear a bunch of stuff up. So.
Dirty, thanks for the clarification, man. We appreciate you taking some time to jump on with us, brother. Straight up.
It's all good. And I don't like the comment you guys said about Josh Allen because he's my fantasy quarterback. He needs to go off.
I think he is. I got Buffalo winning this game. I think he's going to need to. He's going to need to if they're going to win.
He needs to. I'm about ready to put his ass on the trading block because he ain't done shit the last 3 games. So he needs to do something.
I got him winning tomorrow, man. I think he has a game. So
So, all right, boys, I love you. Keep up the good work, and go check us out on Tuesdays, the X Fan Show, and then Wednesday nights, B-Hawk Live. I'll talk to you guys.
All right, have a good one, Dirty. Yeah.
So there you have it. Even more clarification.
Hey, and y'all be sure to look up on Facebook everything, the X Fan Show, and you can catch Legion. Sorry, and you can catch these guys on a couple times. Yeah, they have an X Fan Show actual page, I believe. So y'all be sure to look him up, man, and you can catch Dirty on there. And him and A-Train always talking about what's going on in Spring League. He's got a lot of insider information, guys, that we don't have, but we still got some. But that's the dude right there, man. That's the spearhead of the X Fan Legion, man. Straight up.
And Queen Hyena, Amanda, I got you. When Jeff Bidet comes on, I will have you on the show. I promise you that. I'll make sure to bring you on. I know you're a huge fan of his, so I'll make sure we have that going for you. But thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. Ignacio says, spring football needs the NFL support, but Gabe, you're right on. Don't let the NFL control the spring league or spring football league. Let it remain its own entity with NFL support minus the complete control. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. Like, I've been saying this when I started talking about the USFL or the XFL eventually becoming a developmental league. When I said that they were going to merge, everybody said I was crazy. But I said they were going to merge and end up becoming a developmental league for the NFL. We just don't want the NFL team owners to be able to own any team. We don't want them to have any type of control.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Claim the NSFL as your developmental league, and that's it. Don't sit here and say, oh, well, Jerry Jones now owns the Arlington Renegades in the NSFL. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? There's no need for all that. Keep it the way it is. The NSFL owns all their damn teams, and we're just a developmental league for the NFL. Period. That's
it's like I was trying to go through the comments to find it earlier, but I don't know if it was John or one of them a while ago that said it. We were talking about it, and he said we don't need NFL Junior, and if NFL gets complete control, that's what we'll have. We don't need that. We don't need that, and that's not what we want. We don't want that. So yes, make sure that NFL control has to be very limited. Just make sure that it's something. Look, we're providing you with players. We're providing you with another pool of players. You provide us with some exposure, and everybody's happy. We're not trying to compete with you. We just want to work with you a little bit. That's it.
We want our to grow. We want the popularity that you have, as much as we can get of it. And I think this was all set up. I think this was all in the works. This has been set up for a while now. I think this was just what they were looking to do. And Angel, you damn right. Team Canelo,
baby.
You already know.
Got to. Yeah. Now, let's keep moving on, brother. So we talked about Miami and Buffalo. Now, this next one shouldn't even have to linger on it very long. We got Denver going to Chicago. Two teams really struggling, looking really bad. I think I've seen a little more out of Denver than I have Chicago. That's not saying much, but I got Denver winning this game. I think they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder with themselves, if you want to say. They got nobody to blame but themselves, but I think they have a lot to prove in this game. And right now, I've seen nothing out of Chicago's, the toilet bowl. I've seen nothing out of Chicago right now offensively to make me think that they're going to have any chance in this game. So I got Denver winning.
I can't disagree with you here. I was going to try and figure out a way that Chicago could pull this out, and I'm sitting here in my head, and I'm just like, sorry, Justin Fields. You have no help.
You know what I don't understand about what the Bears are doing? I mean, I guess I kind of do, but okay, you're 0-3 right now. You've looked bad because they've been trying to call plays to keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket passer. It's not happening right now. So what you need right now is you need a win. You need to get your locker room some kind of positivity in there. So they haven't been calling those design run for him this year like they were last year. I think they need to do that this game if they're going to win.
Yeah, they do.
Where you get that shirt? This was a gift. This was a gift, man. I love it. Yeah.
It's going to end in a tie.
I
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't
be surprised if this game ends in a tie.
Like how many people?
6 tied.
Yeah.
It scored 2 field goals.
You know, it's funny. It's funny as hell. I saw somebody post the other day that game needed to be flexed to 3 a.m. Because ain't nobody gonna watch anyways, man. Put that during the infomercial segment.
They damn sure ain't make this game.
That shit is funny though, man, because it's funny because I could see that tie happening, and then it's going to be the laughing stock of the year for the NFL. It's freaking hilarious, dude.
Worst change tie. It'll be worse if neither one of them scores to like the fourth quarter.
God, man, like field goals or something like that. 9-9 tie in overtime,
and they scored a field goal in the fourth quarter. The first overtime and the second overtime.
If the Broncos, after what the Broncos took last week, okay, if they don't come out in this game pissed off and Sean Payton ties with the Bears, I'm sorry, Sean Payton may have to be fired. I'm just saying. So, all right, man. So let's move on. We got a battle of AFC North versus South. It's the Steelers going into Houston. Take on the Texans, man. Steelers at 2-1, Texans are 1-2, and CJ Stroud looked really, really good last week against the Ravens. Man, they took it to Baltimore last week. They really did. Now they're at home.
Where they played? I thought it was Jacksonville that they romped.
Oh, Jacksonville. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah. You're right. My bad. It was it was Jacksonville.
I think they're playing in Houston.
They are playing in Houston. I know that the Steelers are favored by 3, but I got Houston. This is my upset pick of the week. I got Houston winning this ball game at home, man. I think right. Winning. It just seems that right now, man, that with that new coaching staff, everything, they're starting to play better. Every week you're seeing it offensively. And the thing is, they haven't even opened up the run game. Dameon Pierce frustrating the shit out of me because they're not running the ball with him. But right now, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, look, we can pass. So y'all either need to lay off our run game and back up, or CJ Stroud's just going to get better and better every single week. Tank Dell, rookie wide receiver, is killing it. Nico Collins is having a season. I like this upset, bro. I really do.
I believe in what Houston is doing. CJ Stroud looked so good last week, bro. He did.
He really did.
CJ Stroud looked like he's been in the game he played last week. He looked like he'd been in the NFL for a good 2-3 years. The way he played, he just looked so comfortable, and I think that's going to be dangerous. I think that's going to be.
And the fact that they did it against a team that's expected to roll that division against the Jaguars. I don't know what's going on with Jaguars. We'll get to them in a little while, but yeah, I agree with you, man. He looked very comfortable. Very comfortable.
And my upset, this is going to surprise a lot of people, but I have the Texans winning by 10 or more.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, I see it a little bit. I see it closer than that, but I'm with you on Texans winning.
And their offensive line is looking so good against
good
defenses. The Steelers' defense has been looking like crap.
My question about the Steelers is, when is this Steelers offense? I know they're 2-1, but don't let that fool y'all. When is this Steelers offense that was supposed to be so vaunted this year going to show up? Because we ain't seen it yet. And I'm sorry, but Kenny Pickett is starting to look like a turnover-prone quarterback who could be a backup in the next few years. Because by now he's supposed to have shown some progress. The only thing I'm seeing him progressing on is his inability to take care of the football.
Yep, he's starting to look like Josh Allen out there. Literally.
Yeah.
And
except Josh Allen at least is making plays at times, but Kenny Pickett just
good for the Steelers with the way Kenny Pickett is playing. He's not don't got that like the Pickens connection isn't there right now. When the hell is J. Watt gonna get some help on that defensive line?
Yeah.
It's just him, and then we got Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, when is other players gonna step up and show that this defense is elite? You know, it's the Steelers. Steelers is all about defense. Even if the offense is crap, they're all about defense.
You're right. They've always been. Yeah, that's the story of their franchise, man.
Yeah,
to be honest. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with it's the same thing with Coach Epps there. Tomlin. He's always been about defense.
You call him Coach Epps. He do look like
he does. I'm telling you, bro. Omar Epps needs to do a damn movie about the life of Mike Tomlin, and he plays him.
Yeah,
that's an Oscar-winning role right there, man.
Yeah, because
every time I see him, I'm like, damn, it looks like Coach Epps out there. But
I think the steel curtain is a little velvet right now, and TJ Watt needs some help on that. TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick need some more help on that defense, and that offense needs to get better. I see Houston
because they may be 2-1, but let's be honest, man. That Browns game, they pulled that one out of their ass. Their defense, TJ Watt pulled that one. He won that game for them. He single-handedly won that game for them because they were in trouble.
Chubb wouldn't have got hurt. It would have been a long night for that defense.
Yeah, he was rolling, man. He was rolling in that game. So
they got lucky.
All right, let's move on, man. We got a battle in the NFC South. We got the Bucs going into New Orleans, man, to take on the Saints, the Jameis Winston-led Saints this week because they're going to eat a W. What do you think? I got the Saints winning this game. I know. I
can't deal with Jameis.
But you know what? I think that their Kamara is going to be a cage beast in this game. He's been working with the team. He's still been practicing. I think they have to focus on Kamara and Olave being the two focuses of this offense. Could see a lot if they get in the red zone. We could see a lot of Taysom Hill, but I think the defense is what's going to be the difference here. I think they're going to make Baker uncomfortable. I think that Cam and those guys are going to get to him, maybe throw a few interceptions. So I think the defense wins this ball game for them.
That's the only reason why I think the Saints will win.
Yeah,
because I think their defensive line is going to get after Baker, and he's going to struggle with that offensive line he has. Like, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a good game last week or whatever the case. They got the W when they got their dub. Yeah. But you're playing in a really top-tier defense. Cam Jordan is coming for your ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's some boys on that defensive line of New Orleans. They're too big for some of these.
And I think that's why it's big that Kamara is coming back when he is with Carr not being there. Because they really are, they might have to lean on that run game, especially if it's a low-scoring defensive ball game. Because we know Jameis is going to air it out at times, and he's probably going to throw 1 or 2 interceptions, to be honest. But
bro, this man will sit here and give you 3 touchdowns.
Who was it JP the other night that was talking about Jameis Winston having 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to air that thing out, but he's going to turn the ball over because that's what he does.
Yeah. But that's why I think Kamara
and 6 interceptions in a game. You're going to be like, how the hell you get 4 touchdowns? But 6 interceptions, bro. But still threw 4 touchdowns.
He makes it exciting, bro. There's that. But I think Kamara coming back, this is key. But like you said, I think both of us agree that the defense is going to be what ultimately wins this game. So we both got New Orleans.
It'll be a surprise. If Tampa Bay wins, it'll be a huge surprise to me. But I agree.
All right. So now we move on, man, to the AFC. We got the Bengals traveling to Tennessee. Joe Burrow will play. Tennessee is without Hopkins already ain't been doing nothing this year. And then now they got Traylon Burks is out again. He's starting to look like an injury-prone receiver now after 2 years. I like the Bengals to go in and take care of business in this game. I think it's going to be a lot of mixing in this one. So one thing we do know about Tennessee, though, is as good as they are against the run, but they're about that bad against the pass. So, damn, this could be a week for those Bengals receivers, though, man.
I think this is going to be one of those games where Joe Burrow is going to be moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Having fun. I think Burrow's going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. And I think the Bengals are going to actually cruise to a win. I think they're going to really cruise to a win tomorrow. Because what the hell has Tennessee done? You went out and got
the Bengals have struggled without those safeties in the secondary this year, but this Titans offense is not one that's going to scare anybody in any secondary right now. We all know it's all Derrick Henry, and everybody knows that.
D-Hop, and we ain't even got to worry about the other receiver on the other side. Who is that guy?
Yeah, we're going to double team D-Hop, and then we're going to bring everybody else up, to load the box against Henry. And if I can honestly see this being as a game that they run away with early, to be honest. If Burrow opens it up to chasing those guys and Higgins early, man, and even gets Tyler Boyd involved, it could be lights out in the first half.
Lights out. Sandy says she's going with the Titans. Angel said the Titans haven't done much, so I think it's kind of mixed right now. But Sandy's running with those Titans. I don't know, Sandy. Y'all don't got much help other than Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Ryan Tannehill just needs to. Need to get his
Will Levis will be starting by the second half of the season. You watch.
Yep. That's all I can say.
All right, man. Now, we got our game next, man. We got the New England Patriots, Zeke Elliott, the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, coming to town with a very strong defense, coming to take on our boys, man, who are coming off that damn game last week. We ain't got to talk about it. We ain't got to talk about it.
That well-needed loss.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I think we both agree. This is a game that Dallas needs to bounce back from. This is a game that like I told you the other night, this is going to tell us more about the Cowboys than any game will this season. This game right here. Because how do we handle the adversity of last week? The shit that's been there all year, all week long that they're hearing. How do they handle this? I think they come out strong. I think that defense is going to come out hyped. I think Bland, I think we'll see him get even more comfortable in that cornerback one role. And Micah's going to go off this week, man. So I like Dallas to win this game. I like them winning by more than 10 points. I think this is a perfect time right now to get Brandon Cooks involved. And you have to start putting Dak and run pass options in the red zone. No, Sandy. No.
Sandy, I am appalled.
You look like you're offended, bro.
I am. You are choosing the Patriots? Micah Parsons is going to have lunch.
Talk to me, brother. What are your thoughts on this game?
Micah Parsons is going to eat some mac and cheese for lunch.
Yeah. I know you like Mac. I know you like Mac Jones, but you're telling it like it is. You're telling it like it is.
Yeah. Mac Jones about to be looking like Zach Wilson out there.
Yeah.
He's going to be running for his life. You're going to be hearing some, oh my God, like Smith, Aaron Donald. Oh my God, please don't hit me.
Get away from me. Throw the ball at him.
Mac Jones about to get hit. And when Micah Parsons hits Mac Jones, that man's life is going to change. His football life is going to change. Dallas by 10.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you right there. It's going to but I will say this. I think it's time that we start seeing them using. We know they're getting Dak to use his legs. Start putting Dak back in that run pass option in the red zone. It's going to help our red zone issues. It definitely will if he has that threat of running. So I think we're going to see that this week. That's what I'm expecting to see, because we saw Mike McCarthy talk about the fact that they know what the issue is. They know that they have red zone issues, and he's like telling the media, it's 3 games in. This is what we do. We go and practice what we need to work on. So,
exactly. Ignacio, though, I know what you mean. I get that, but that was the Kellen Moore offense. He knows about the Kellen Moore offense. He can't go and share the Mike McCarthy offense because he don't know it.
Yeah,
he don't know it whatsoever. Yeah. Mike McCarthy ain't bringing it in until this offseason. That's why if you notice, that's why Dallas was working so hard. That's why Dak was going out there and having the wide receivers go out there with him and work on plays, because it was a whole new playbook to learn. Whole new playbook. So, but I do agree. Cowboys by 10. It is a must-win game for us. We don't want to fall to 2-2, because then it'll be hard.
Then it's a whole different. Landscape going forward.
We want to go into this 49ers game with a winning record. We want to be above 500. We want to go into this
Yeah.
Niners game 3-1. Hopefully the Niners get beat this week. So we because the Niners are taking on the Cardinals.
I think it's I don't know if the Niners are gonna look past them though, the way Dallas did. We gotta admit, Dallas looked like they were a little bit on easy street preparation going into this game. So I think that hurt them too. I don't see the Niners making that mistake. After what the Niners saw the Cardinals do last week, they're like, okay, yeah, no, we got to take these dudes serious.
But the Niners have holes in their defense that they can't fix.
Yeah.
They give up the short yards pass. They give up the dump routes so much right now. That short yardage play.
All right. So speaking on that game, I have the Niners winning at home. I honestly don't see this being close. I think the Niners bring the Cardinals back down to earth, whereas vice versa. How do you see it? Niners at home versus the Cardinals.
I'm feeling like Angel. I want Arizona to pull up the upset, baby.
I think we all do. I do too. I do too.
Upset, and I want it to be something bad, because then the 49ers are going to come into next week's game ready, and we're going to go into next week's game ready. So I want Arizona to win. I think Arizona can win if they can exploit the defense of the 49ers. If they can really find those holes and exploit those holes that are in that 49ers defense this season, I really think that they could pull off a small little upset, win by maybe 3-6 points. I don't see them blowing out the 49ers whatsoever. I don't see them doing what they did to us, winning by 11 points or whatever it was. But I can see them squeaking out an upset. But
my
honest opinion, the 49ers win the game.
Yeah. I really think I got to be honest. I think if this game was in Arizona,
by 17,
you know what I could see? I can honestly see that. I could see a blowout here because the Niners are at home. If this game was in Arizona, like the Cowboys game was last week, and they had that energy of that home crowd, I can honestly see them competing in this game. But because of the fact that what they did to Dallas, I think the Niners know, well, you know what? We're not going to overlook these dudes. We're at home. Right. We're going to hit them hard with Christian McCaffrey. We're going to hit them hard with Debo. We got Brandon Ayuk coming back. I have a feeling this is going to be a blowout. I hope I'm wrong. I'm with you guys, man. I want the upset here. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't either. Is the Seattle and Washington game tonight?
No, it's a Monday night. Seattle and New York, that's a Monday night. So we'll get to that one. Next game up, we got this was supposed to be a headline game, but we'll jump ahead to the Sunday night football game because I'm looking at it from my graph on left to right. We got the Chiefs going to the Jets. This was supposed to be Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. I got the Chiefs winning big. I'm talking more than I'm talking. Yeah. I think I could see that. This Chiefs defense is playing very good right now since Chris Jones came back. And the Chiefs are just looking good, man. They're gonna go on the road. They're gonna take care of business and keep rolling. I see them winning by like 17 points minimum.
I see them winning by like 20, 30 points, bro.
I could see that.
Mahomes dismantling that defense. I see Travis Kelce dismantling those mismatches. Bro, the Chiefs are about to have fun. They're about to go play catch.
Yeah. This is one of those games, bro, where we can mention Travis Kelce as the pass catchers. And the reason we don't mention any other receivers for the Chiefs having a big game is because you never know which one it's going to be. But we know there's going to be another one. The thing about Mahomes is he's unpredictable like that. Like, okay, y'all thought it was going to be, y'all think it's going to be, Tony this week. Guess what? Next week, it's going to be Sky Moore. Sky Moore is going to have his game. So he has Kelce, but he loves to work the ball to everybody else, man. And I mean, we seen, Isaiah Pacheco starting to pick up steam. This is going to get ugly. Let's believe that, man.
Chiefs.
All right. Yeah.
Blowout.
Chiefs, big. Now, we got this could be a good one. This is the morning game tomorrow, y'all. So if y'all like me, I don't care if it's not my team, I'm going to be up. It's going to be like 7:30 a.m. my time. This is the one in London. And we've got Atlanta traveling to a team that's very used to doing this every year. I call them the London home team, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville needs a bounce back game pretty bad after losing last week, man, to Houston. And they have not put it all together yet. They're a little more used to this traveling to London, where Atlanta isn't. You got the rookies like Bijan and them that don't know what this is like yet. I like Jacksonville as the home team, quote unquote home team, to win this game. And to be honest, I think it's going to be one of those games like it is with them every year in London, where it comes down to like a field goal to end the game.
Okay. I actually think I said Arizona. I think Atlanta's going to come in and actually be surprisingly good.
Okay.
And I think Bijan Robinson is going to have a hell of a game, and he's going to run all over the Jacksonville defense. So I'm picking Atlanta with my other upset pick.
And see, my thing is the reason I like Jacksonville is because I think Jacksonville has something Atlanta can't do, which is pass the ball. And I think if they get into like a 10-point lead and Atlanta is forced to pass the ball, unless you're putting in Heineke, I don't trust Riddler to get this shit done, man. I don't.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
With that said, if it is a grinding game and Atlanta's defense shows up, and you've got that two-headed monster there with Algier and Bijan running the ball, it can get real ugly for Jacksonville. You're right about that. You're right. So I think those are the keys for the two teams, I guess, whereas Atlanta, you want to keep it low scoring on the ground, control the time of possession, whereas Jacksonville, you want to use your pass game, and try to get an early lead on these guys, man. So it's going to be a good one. Are you going to be up for that game?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be up.
Yeah, same here. I'll be tired as hell with my pot of coffee, but I still make sure, man, even when it's not the Cowboys, I'm like, I don't care. It's football. I'm going to be up. You know what I mean? Definitely. All right, man. So, and if you guys have never watched these London games, y'all, if you want to get up early and watch it, don't worry about the crowds, because one thing about London over there is they love the NFL. The crowds are loud for both teams. You're going to see fans in the stands with jerseys of teams that aren't even playing, and it's so dope. They love the NFL over there, man. So definitely check it out, y'all, if you're up that early. Moving on to the next one, brother. It's
going to be in Toy Story mode.
Yes, I'm actually want to check that out. I want to see what that's about. If you have the Disney Plus app, y'all.
Oh no, they're not just doing it on Disney Plus. I believe they're doing it on ESPN Plus.
Well, ESPN is showing the regular broadcast of it, but Disney is going to have the Toy Story version of it. I have no idea what this is going to consist of, but I'm very intrigued.
Real time. They're saying it's going to be in real time. I'm
intrigued. They're talking about Bo Peep as Trevor Lawrence and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, the blonde thing. I don't know, bro. I don't know what is going on with this, but I know you like me. I'm very intrigued, bro. I have to see what this is about, man.
Even my wife is like, "Yeah, we got to watch the game on the Toy Story." I'm like, "All right,
yeah."
Well, that's the plan for the morning.
All right, so you've got Atlanta, and I got Jacksonville. Now we got Minnesota, who's struggling for a win, man. Traveling to Carolina. I believe it will be. Is it going to be Andy Dalton again this week? I think it is going to be Andy Dalton. I like Minnesota to finally get that win that's eluded them this season, man. I think they're just going to outscore Carolina. It's going to be one of those where Justin Jefferson is about to have a game again.
Yeah, and if Kirk Cousins actually shows up for the Vikings this week and not the other team,
come on, man.
Hey, you give a victory.
He's been showing up though, but he's been showing up. Given
to you, a victory opportunity was handed to you on the 24-yard line.
Yeah. But he's been playing well. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Make sure he can hear. Make sure he can hear.
Yeah.
Make sure your mic's working and shit. I don't want no excuses. I couldn't.
No excuses. No excuses, man. Straight up. But they have to get this win. They have to. You want to try and keep pace in that in the NFC North. This is a game they have to win. They cannot afford to lose to a team like Carolina, who's in rebuilding mode. So I see them winning big, though. I do.
I do too.
All right. So now we got a big one, brother. AFC North battle. We got Baltimore going into Cleveland without Beckham. He has been ruled out for this game. Not that he's been doing anything this year, anyways. Cleveland's starting to play better. At home, I like Cleveland in a close game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think TJ Ford's actually going to run the ball very well in this game. So I like Cleveland to win this game.
I'm actually going to run with Baltimore. I think Zay Flowers is going to be. I think Zay Flowers is going to be key. I think Zay Flowers is going to be key, and
he's going to have to be because Bateman's out in this game too. So there's two receivers gone.
I think Zay Flowers is going to have a breakout game today. I think Lamar Jackson is going to do very, very well in the pocket, and I think Lamar Jackson is going to use his feet a lot in this game. So
it's going to be tough, man, because Cleveland right now has on paper the top defense in the league right now, and without, I think, Mark Andrews is a guy that could be a key if Baltimore's going to win this game. So keep an eye on Mark Andrews, y'all, straight up against this defense and those linebackers of Cleveland. But so you got Baltimore, I got Cleveland. But I think we both agree, though, that it's one of those games that's going to come down late in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those late fourth quarter games. It's going to be a close game. Yeah. Whoever has the ball last and scores last is going to be your winner type of thing.
This is always a fun rivalry to watch, too, man, because they smash mouth football when these two teams get together. So.
And now you have two of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league going up against each other.
Yes.
So it'll be fun to watch.
Now we've got the LA Rams traveling to the Colts, who get Anthony Richardson back this week. The Colts at a surprising 2-1 right now. Rams are 1-2. I know Richardson's coming back, but I think what helped the Colts win last week, to be honest, was the fact that it was Gardner Minshew in there, because it opened up their pass game with him there.
Yeah.
I think they will dial that back this week with Richardson back. And I like Stafford and his boys to go into Indy and get the win.
I think honestly, making the decision to put Anthony Richardson in the game this week is a bad decision.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Richardson needs to sit down and watch Gardner Minshew. I think they needed to have they made the bad in my opinion, it wasn't such a bad idea to start him. I just think it wasn't the smartest, because look at him already. He already got a concussion.
Yeah. Yeah. Two games into the season.
You know what I mean? Like, don't make this boy fragile as hell before he's even 2 years into his career in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have easily sat down. Could have let Gardner, if he was going to sign Gardner Minshew, you should have just let him start.
Yeah. And to be honest, man, I was saying this all off season that he was still too raw. He doesn't have enough playing experience. You know, he had part of a season in college, and that was it. And you're right, Gardner Minshew, while he's no longer like a starter. I mean, I knew it last week. I called it last week. I told everybody, look, their pass game's about to open up with Gardner Minshew. Mm-hmm. And it did, because that's what he does. He can sling the ball, man. He can throw the ball. He can throw he can roll out and throw on the move. Yep. And I think you're right. It really would have done them well to say, you know what, Richardson, we're going to sit you down, and we want you to watch how he works the pass game, because we can't have you running all the time with a concussion already. Mm-hmm. So I completely agree with you, bro. Like, this is something that maybe why even if he just came off of concussion protocol, why you want to risk bringing him back? This is like the Miami Dolphins thing all over again. Now, granted, it's not what you saw on the field like with Tua last year, but I feel that why do you rush a guy so quickly back after a concussion a week later? You know, exactly. 2 weeks. He barely came off a protocol this week. It wasn't like it was last Friday and they said, we're just going to sit him anyways. just this week. So it's dangerous. They're playing dangerous game with him, man.
Yeah, and I think that the Rams are just going to come in and have their way.
Yeah. I like Stafford. Puka Nacua, what he's been doing. I know the Colts
have like the Baltimore game. You know what I mean? The Colts ain't going to have that. Hey, you guys playing for Anthony Richardson and not me, Gardner Minshew type of deal. You know what I mean? They are ready for Anthony Richardson. They're gaming for him.
And plus you're looking at a different type of quarterback too. Like you're not going up against Lamar Jackson, who you just got to make sure you spy him. You're going up against Stafford, who can fling that ball, and he's going to throw it to Nacua, and he's going to throw it to Higbee. So I'm with you. I see this being a double-digit win for the Rams.
What's going on, Dope? Welcome in, bro.
What's up, Dope? All right, brother. So let's move on now. We got a battle in our division. The NFC Beast between Washington, and they will be going into Philly. And I am hoping Washington pulls off an upset here. I want it. But I don't see
Washington going to do what they did last year.
It's possible. I think Philly wins this game. For my part, I got Philly winning. But it's going to be a close game, bro. I can honestly tell you, I've got Philly winning because they're at home. Would it surprise me if Washington wins a close game? Especially after the ass cooking they took to Buffalo last week. They better be coming back with a chip on their shoulder this week. That's all I'm saying.
Winning this game. The Philadelphia Eagles aren't as dominant of a team as they were last season. Let's not look at them like they're just some super team now. They're not. They showed that in the first 3 games of the season.
You're right. They're 3-0, but it's not the 3-0 that it was last year. Yeah.
At all. They won by 5 points against the Patriots. They won by what? Maybe 5 or 8 points against who they played last week.
Oh, shit. Who did they have last week? They had an easy one last week, man.
And still
that's the problem.
That's my thing. You still barely won the game. And I just don't think, I don't think that they I don't know, man. It's so hard to even look at the Philadelphia Eagles the same. But I actually have the
it was sorry, bro, before you make that pick real quick, it was the Bucks that they beat last week.
Yeah, and barely beat the Bucks. That's my thing. You barely beat the Bucks.
And the week before, it was barely they eked out a 6-point win against the Vikings. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the Eagles aren't the same team.
No, they're not.
Going into this game, Washington has a real good chance of beating them like they did last year.
I agree. They do. They have a really, really good chance.
Sam Howell is not a bad quarterback. Like Sam Howell came into this season like, look, I'm not a rookie. This is my second season. I'm just a starter now. I have to take on that role. And he's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
That offensive line holds up. It's going to be a long night for that defense. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because everybody's they've seen Jalen Carter have a good game against the Bucks, and they're like, oh, Jalen Carter is the best defenseman player now. Jalen Carter is not. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not even better than Michael Parsons. Nowhere near as good as Michael Parsons.
No. Remember we were hearing all that crap about Hassan Reddick last year, better than Parsons. Where's Reddick been this year? Yeah, nobody talking about him
at all.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be the same thing with Jalen Carter. He's not.
Yeah, and I am with you in the fact that I think Washington has a very good chance to win this game, especially if they respond the way I think they should respond after that ass kicking last week. Because let's be honest, they hit a buzzsaw with Buffalo last week, who just finally for one game Buffalo got everything together in one game.
Sam Howell and Terry McLaurin couldn't get connected last week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And see, I really hope that Ron Rivera does not shy away from Terry against Slay this week. You know what? Let him expose Slay. Let him challenge him. They want to use Slay to go head up with Terry McLaurin. 8 times out of 10, I'm going to go with Terry on that, and you got to trust him So I think they need to exploit that matchup. Definitely. I know Slay's a good cornerback, but he's taken a step back. And I think Terry McLaurin can still be as dominant as ever. And I think another big key here, bro, is they have to get the run game going. They have to. I know it's tough because that Philly front four is so good. But, man, why not? You've got two running backs there. You know, you've got Brian Robinson, who's showing an ability to run between the tackles. And you've also got Antonio Gibson, who can come out of the backfield in the pass game. Use it. Use it. Make those linebackers back up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then, I mean, you've got Jahan Dotson there on the other side. I'll take him over Bradbury. So I think the key is going to be play calling, in my opinion. Don't be scared to open it up on your offense against that Philly defense. This is not the same defense as last year. They're still good, but they're not elite. So I think if they do that, they've got a very good chance. I'm still picking Philly. But damn, Washington, please prove me wrong, Washington. I'll never go for Washington, ever, except against Philly. Except against Philly.
I have to today.
Yeah.
I think they're going to pull it out. I really think so.
Yeah, I hope so, man. But I do expect a close game, so I'll be watching. I think we'll all be watching, definitely. Now we go out to the AFC West. We got the Raiders coming into the Chargers, into Los Angeles. And I could be wrong, but I think the Raiders got a win there last year. I think they did. If it's either last year or the year before, they're capable of doing it again. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game just because of everything on paper. But I also am of the mind. I get it, especially in this division, in these two teams. What you see on paper doesn't always translate to the actual game itself. The only way the Raiders are going to win this game, though, you got to get Josh Jacobs going. You have to keep it on the ground. Yeah, you got to keep Justin Herbert off the damn field because he's not going to be lighting you up if he's not on the field. So how do you do that? You get a nice little mix, like you said, of Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs grinding it out. I think they're going to have a chance. If it's close in the fourth quarter, that's going to be why. That's when they'll have a chance. But I got the Chargers winning by double digits, straight up. I think Herbert's going to light him up.
I think porn star Jimmy's out today. So I think Aiden O'Connell, the rookie, is going to get the start.
Yes.
And that might change a lot. That might change up a lot because preparing for Jimmy Garoppolo is totally different than preparing for Aiden O'Connell. But I still don't think that the Rams, not the Rams. I don't think the Raiders are going to come in here and get a win. Yeah. But I think Aiden O'Connell, if he does start, he looked amazing in the preseason. That kid looked amazing in the preseason.
He did, but he also didn't have Bosa and Khalil Mack coming at him in the preseason either, though, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to be. We've seen how rookies fold against pass rushers like this. All I'm saying is it's going to be interesting to see how he handles those two guys coming off of those edges, man. You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe he plays well. Maybe he responds well to it. So I'm really interested in seeing how he handles that pass rush.
Now, I don't have the Rams by too much, but I do have them.
Chargers.
The Chargers. I don't have the Chargers winning by a whole ton, like 20, 30 points, but I think they can pull out a 10-point win.
Yeah, I got them by 2 scores. I don't know. I want to say more than 10. Yeah, they're not. They're just not. They're almost on the cusp of a rebuild after this season. You know what I mean? So, like you said, O'Connell, actually, this could be good for him going in there for the future because now they're going to get a look at what he can do coming in as a rookie. So, but yeah, I think we're both in agreement. Chargers win this game by double digits. Now we got one game left, and that is the Monday Night Football game. Seattle, Geno Smith, and the Seahawks traveling to New York to take on Danny Dimes without Saquon Barkley. I'm assuming they're still playing this whole game time thing, but I'm sorry, you don't play Saquon in this situation. I got Seattle winning, man. I just don't see New York just doesn't have enough. They don't have enough, and I think it's just a matter of time until Geno and that offense finally start rolling. We saw finally Metcalf last week just blew up, and it's just going to continue. Yeah.
Smith and Jigba, boy. Jackson Smith and Jigba been looking really, really good. Really, really good. And then you got DK Metcalf coming into season form now already.
And then,
got,
Tyler Lockett, Mr. Consistent, and then you got old running back there. Who was it?
you got AW3, Kenneth Walker the third in that backfield, healthy.
So I like Seattle to win this game. I think it will be a type of like I said it the other day, like a 24-17 type of game.
I see a way bigger margin of victory for him.
I don't know. I think if Daniel Jones can use his legs to extend drives,
if
just
Daniel
wind the
Jones
clock
get
down.
The ball in the Jalen Hyatt's damn hands, maybe. If he could get the ball into Darren Waller's actual hands, maybe. You're sitting here throwing the ball behind your receivers on a
but let's not act like I've been seeing some plays where Waller should be getting separation and he's dropping the ball because he's got a linebacker on him, and I'm like, Waller, you're supposed to be in a mismatch with these dudes.
Yep.
So I think that goes back to why we're saying the Giants just don't have it all together right now. They don't have enough together. Without Saquon there, who is the centerpiece of that offense, nah. It ain't happening, dog. But this,
it's not.
So
they don't have enough weapons to compete.
You talking about a big deficit? Wouldn't surprise me. I guess maybe I'm giving the Giants a little more credit than what I should. But I got them losing by a touchdown. But it wouldn't surprise me to see you be right and see Geno Smith throw for like 3 touchdowns in this game. To see Kenneth Walker run for another 1 or 2. Geno runs in for another one. It wouldn't surprise me. Because I feel like Seattle right now is like what Buffalo was last week. Like Seattle's on the verge of getting a put it all together game where defense, offense, pass game, run game, everything just clicks. And then you're like, there's the Seattle team we've been waiting for. This could be that game. This could be that game.
Right. So, I think, 15 sounds about good. Ignacio, 15 or more sounds about good to me.
Okay. That sounds like a possibility. Yeah. Like I said, I think I'm giving the Giants a little more credit than I should, bro. But hey, I'm sticking with it.
Calling that man Danny Dimes. What dimes he throwing?
Danny Dimes, man.
He's picking up dimes every time he gets hit.
Yeah.
He's seeing dimes on the ground. Every time
let's see if he don't get tackled by a ghost again in this game, man. I don't know. Let's see if it don't happen.
You need to go see Dr. Coach Prime. Get some
But that's what we got for y'all right there, man. That is the NFL Week 4 slate for y'all right there, man. So let's see how it all turns out, man. And just to keep everybody
please tell me.
Ahead. What do you?
Please tell me.
What am I looking at here? Well, I'm trying to find the live here. Okay. Whoa, crap. 48-41.
48-41 USC. Oh my God. What?
Colorado. But it's over. No, it's over. It's over. USC's in victory formation. It's over. But damn. They done came back.
You gave up 41 points? USC.
Wow. After what Oregon did. Now, we also saw what Oregon did to Utah, too. So Oregon's better than what their rankings showing right now. But damn, no, I'm with you. Like, what? You gave up how many points?
41 points to Shedeur Sanders and the Buffaloes. I
got to be honest with you, bro. I got to be honest with you. This is a moral victory for Colorado. I know they say there are no moral victories, but when you are a school, a team that is starting to build something, moral victories are very important. This is a big one. This is
crazy. 48-41.
But
they lost by literally.
Either way, you know what it looked. I'd like to go back and watch part of the second half because I want to see what USC did offensively. Did they get conservative because they had that massive lead, that score with them only putting up 48 tells me that they might have gotten conservative. I don't know. Maybe there was some turnovers. I got to go back and look, but There's a possibility with that. But from the way I'm watching right now, the broadcast afterwards, it's looking like USC just kind of said, okay, we're just going to walk out of here with a win, on the road. But
it was 35.
they moved
40 and a half.
Yeah.
You're telling me you only scored 13 points in the third and fourth quarter?
That's why I'm wondering how conservative they got. Because they weren't having any problem finding seams in that defense in the first half.
Yeah.
And we all know this Colorado defense isn't that good. You know what I'm saying?
They're good.
Yeah.
I'm playing. Colorado's defense is trash. We know this.
Yeah.
We know this.
So I really want to go back. Yeah.
What, 300 points already?
I really want to. I'm interested to find out the way the play calling went in the second half.
But about to see right
either
now,
way, USC now 5-0. Either way, the 5-0, man. They go into Colorado, get it done.
A lot with turnovers. I seen a bad snap earlier, and Caleb Williams had to jump on the thing.
Yeah, I saw that one the first half. Yeah.
So I think it had because even in the first half, Colorado did pretty good on defense. I got to give them credit. They did play pretty well on defense.
Oh, they gave up 34 points.
I mean, it could have been worse
against USC. Yeah, I could have. You're absolutely right. They did force a couple of punts there. So
I will give them that. Their very first drive, what did they do? They went down the field at 2 minutes and 37 seconds and scored.
Yeah.
We all know there's 15 minutes in football quarters, right? They scored, and I look at the clock, and it's 12 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter, and they already got 7 points.
Yeah.
Then they turned around and scored 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes. One on offense, intercepted the ball, and scored again on offense. Like, I thought it was they were just going to walk away, and then all of a sudden, Colorado scores 14 points, and we're like, oh.
I just pulled, yeah.
So I know it was a good game. I'm definitely going to go watch the replay, and we'll see how ineffective that offense looked in the second half for USC, which could have morally cost them. You know what I mean? It could have cost them big time, because if Colorado would have had the ball just now with that 41-48 score, there was an opportunity. There was an opportunity to tie the ball game or even win by 1 point. So, it's going to be interesting to see the remaining of the season. It really is now. It's really going to be interesting to see the remaining of the season, because for USC, if your defense is giving up 41 points like that to a Colorado Buffaloes team,
out
their star receiver and star two-way player, I should just say,
especially after what Oregon did to them last week, and you're supposed to be better than Oregon, who right now Oregon's actually looking like they're better than their ranking. To be honest, man, they are.
When USC and Oregon play this season, Oregon's going to whoop that ass. I'm sorry.
I'm starting to think that's going to be a very close game. Yeah, so that's what we got, though, man. Yeah,
material. Oregon's looking like national championship material, guys. So pay attention to
stuff.
Oregon. Yeah, definitely pay attention to Oregon this year. As you've seen, my Alabama's dropped out of the top 10 ranking for the first time in how many years? So yeah,
it's about damn time. They should have been out of the top 10 at some point last year too. But this damn NCAA committee refuses. They had no choice this year. Yeah, they had no choice. Especially
the way they got beat. Yeah, they have no choice.
Yeah,
but there you have it, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I know we did.
Thank you guys for sticking with us for this long show. We get it, but we appreciate every one of you guys for staying with us, man, and keeping with the conversation.
Thank you, Dirty, for popping in and showing us that on a lot of what's going on with the NSFL. We'll just start calling it the NSFL. There ain't no reason no more. But thank you, Dirty, for jumping in. Thank you for the questions. As always, if you want to send in your fan mail questions, please do so to this email, thegridironpodcast@gmail.com. And you can send in your fan mail questions. And, of course, we'll ask them and answer them right on the air. Also, you can catch the Gridiron Nation podcast, Double G show, on Tuesdays now He's no longer doing it on
Yes.
well, it's during the season now. He does a
It's
show
on Tuesday. Yeah.
Make sure you go and hit up Double G and Gridiron Nation podcast on the following socials at the bottom of your screen. And you can do the same with his fan mail questions. Send fan mail questions to Gridiron Nation podcast at Gmail.
And y'all be sure to be ready on this Tuesday. It will be Tuesday. Jersey's going to join me again. We've got a fun topic, man, that we're bringing to this show this week. We're going to be asking y'all your opinion. Who is the best pass rusher of all time? I'm not asking for best defensive player overall. So y'all think about this. You got a few days because me and Jersey got our opinions. So, we got no problem giving you our opinion. But we want y'all to jump on this stream. Give us your thoughts on who you guys think is the best pass rusher of all time. Conversations like this are always fun. Kind of veers us away from what's going on in football right now. We'll still break down what's going on right now. But y'all be ready, man. Tuesday, jump on with us and have this conversation.
Yes, sir. And again, fan mail questions can go here to Gridiron Nation Podcast or the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail. It's either Gridiron Nation Podcast at Gmail or the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail to give either one of us your fan mail questions. And again, man, we just want to thank you guys for being here today, chilling with us today. Almost 3 hours strong. We had a long conversation about the merge, and I appreciate all you guys' input and your, the topics that you guys were bringing up when it came to the merge, just everything and how active and engaging you guys were today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all you guys were really, really active in the comments today, man. So it was dope. Dope, definitely.
We really appreciate
Keep bringing that energy, y'all. Keep bringing that energy every week.
Yes, sir. But I'm Jersey the King. He's Double G. Papa G. Gabe Garcia.
The OG Double G. Like Angel has tagged me the OG Double G, and I like it.
Double G. You feel me? So make sure you guys, again, tune in to Gridiron Nation podcast this Tuesday. And we will see you guys next week for the Gridiron. But also, be ready. Either Tuesday or Thursday, you're going to see Jeff Badette, the Vegas Vipers wide receiver, live on the Fan Gang Nation show. So just check my socials. Keep your eyes out open for those socials and the posts. I'll let you guys know when Jeff Badette will be on. So, and
don't forget, hitting before we close out, hashtag Hub don't get dubs.
Yes,
we're gonna make it a thing. We're gonna make it a thing.
But I want to thank y'all again for tuning in. We love y'all.
Yeah.
And you guys make the Gridiron what it is, So thank you. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. We're gonna catch y'all next week. And go Canelo, baby. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Team Canelo. Love you guys. We will highlight y'all next week. This is the Gridiron. Peace out.